the closest downtime we've ever started.
Hey everybody, I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again.
Let's restart that.
Father. I know. Hey everybody, I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I am not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so. And then when people say, oh, they're going to use this for you in court, I didn't have a say-so on whether or not they went to Sierra Canyon. Most men do not, there's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with. You understand what I'm saying? So when we had the Donda 2 release in Miami, I got a flight for all my kids to come from Calabasas to come in Miami to see the kids. Then assistant hit me and said, all the kids, they said the kids are there. When the plane took off, I got a text from Kim that said, North won't be on the plane. You see, this is the kind of stuff that's just like the Chicago birthday party. And I'm glad that y'all saw in the variety piece what I have to deal with. Here go another thing. The Doves high school basketball game. We hold one in California. My daughter loves basketball. I want her to see the league that her father is starting. North can't go to that game. Now we got Sunday service this morning at 10 a.m. and it's North had a sleepover, so she can't come to Sunday service. I moved the Sunday service up to 10 a.m. so that I can go to St. Soccer game at 12:30. Move the entire thing.
That's enough.
So I called different people I knew, and the best.
So once again, this is the TIP Network. This is our third live struggle stream. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for your time. We're here to help you level up with self-improvement. And this is a very important topic that we're talking about right now. And what are we talking about? We're talking about Kanye West and the apparent breakdown on social media. And really the opinions that I'm looking for is Kanye a good father, or is he manipulating this situation to take his be able to recapture Kim? So I have a lot of stories and a lot of things that's happened to people in my life and my travels and my experience. And one of the most important things that I've always recognized is that in general, not always, but in general, a parent's most important thing in their life is your children. Now, there can be many other factors, and a lot of things kind of get in the way, or it's kind of hard to tell. For instance, if you have a parent that's working two jobs, it may seem like the parent doesn't really care about the children. Only thing they care about is money and the jobs. But in fact, the reason why they're working those two jobs is to take care of the children. So it becomes almost a self-fulfilling prophecy that you only work to take care of the kids. So you care more about work than your children because we want your time. And as I've always said, the three most important things to anybody is, number one is time, especially a man, because you don't know how much of it you have. You could be here today, you could be gone tomorrow. Number two is your money. And when I say your money, I mean that most of the time you invest, most of the things that you invest your time is to make money. And number three is your mental stability. And all of these things kind of work together. I've never known somebody with poor mental stability that was able to make money and actually use their time wisely. So I want to just burden everybody with a short story. And this is a story of a very good friend of mine who's not with us anymore. His name is Will. I'm not going to use his last name, but Will is somebody I grew up with. And Will loved his children. Will had a lot of kids, 4 to be exact, at a young age. But his greatest pride of his life was to keep working to take care of his kids. I mean, Will called it out all the time. Oh man, I'm going to work today. My kid needs some shoes. I got to make sure I take care of him. He was very proud. Will and his wife did separate, and the separation was nasty. But the separation, they kind of worked it out where Will was going to be able to see his kids every other weekend, and he was going to, provide for his children. Of course, absolutely the right thing to do. You'll never hear me say that if somebody has kids, they shouldn't provide for them. As a matter of fact, if you do have kids and you're not providing for them, you are of the lowest quality if you're able to provide for them. And when I say lowest quality, I mean lowest quality human being. If you're able to provide for children that you made and you're not doing it, there's a problem. Now, there are things that get in the way. And this is what I'm going to see, one of the things that get in the way, because I want to communicate with you folks, all of the folks who showed up, that things that get in the way of you taking care of your children, sometimes it's not in a man's control. And sometimes men are pushed to the fact where they just throw their hands up. Some men don't throw their hands up. So, did Will throw his hands up? No. What Will did was he absolutely worked as hard as he could to take care of those kids, and he was giving his wife child support, which he should. But what did the wife tell him? She said, listen, I lost my bank account. I bounced me checks. I need you to give me this in cash. Now, all of the boys, all of us said, well, don't give nobody nothing in cash. But Will said, no, I trust her. She's the mother of my children. We always had a decent relationship, it fell apart at the end or whatever. Started paying her in cash. And over 8 to 10 months, he gave her the child support money in cash. Well, something happens, which happens a lot in relationships. Will found somebody else, and he hooked up with the other person, and they moved in together. And he never told his wife, like, hey, I moved in with somebody. He never said that. His kids told the wife, which to me was a mistake. You have to be quite open and honest with the other person with their children. They should meet each other. If you guys are on the terms, they should meet each other. And I know it's going to be tense, but it's the right thing to do. So what happens? She finds out, and all of a sudden, Will is served with child support paperwork. Now, Will's been paying child support for the past 10 months, straight ahead. But she said he's never paid. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but see, he had 4 kids. And at the time, and this is in the 90s, he was paying about $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month times those 8 months was just a lot of money. And it's hard to catch up, because not only do you have the money that you're supposed to be paying, but also you have the back penalties. So what happened with the back penalties? Will decided to drop his health care. He dropped everything when the open enrollment came, which open enrollment comes once a year. He decided not to ask for it so he can have more money, because the penalties and the fees were robbing him of his ability to take care of his new family. Now, this sounds like a common story. It sounds like something made up. It may sound common to you if you have people into it. It may not sound common to you. But what happened to this man was that he actually struggle streaming. He actually needed the ability to buy medicine because he was epileptic. Now, Will did something that I tell people that you should never do. He decided to use herbal remedies, that old California green, for a way to take care of himself, because CBD does have some properties of suppressing epilepsy, and CBD is a component that is found in the California green sticky icky. But it didn't work. And it was a really sad time. I remember I was, at the time, I was a young manager. I was working, doing my job, and I got a call from Will, and he said, hey, man, you should come up tonight. We're going to have a party. See, we always had what we called a liver Olympics at Will's house, and I continued that with Scott when he was younger. You go, you fry a bunch of chicken, eat a bunch of greasy food, you drink some beer, and you talk, play dominoes, and have a good time. I said, Will, I got to work early. I'm not going to make it. Maybe I'll come later on. Maybe I'll come next week. Will did it once a week. So what did Will say? Will said, Grover, no problem, because you're a working man and I am too, and I appreciate that. I got a few days off work. I just wanted to spend it with you. I said, okay, well, what's your off days next week? I'll go hang out with him. So what happened? The next day, Will had seizures, and he's not with us anymore. Will passed away. Will didn't pass away for any other reason except him and his wife got into, or him and his ex-wife got into an argument, and she was upset because he had someone new. Now, what I'm trying to figure out from this Kanye situation, because I know you're saying, what does this have to do with Kanye? Is Kanye in a situation where maybe he is on the other foot and he's using his children to complain about Kim? I'm not sure. But I will say this, and I want to open it up, and I want an honest discussion. We'll drop the link for the folks in there. We'll send the links to the folks. We want an honest discussion. If Kanye is a good father, or is he leveraging his kids to get back with Kim? So now I think it's time for us to just talk about the quality of person Kanye is. Right. So Kanye, and I can't use a lot of clips because I'll get struck down. But Kanye, you know, has a history of being bipolar, which is not his fault. But he also has a history of staying off his medication and he doesn't need his medication. So that's a conscious choice by a man that perhaps can't make that choice. And Kanye has had many outbursts from the infamous George Bush doesn't like black people. That was during Hurricane Katrina, for folks who don't remember that. All the way to, I'm going to let you finish, Taylor, but Beyonce had the greatest record of all time, and interrupting a Grammy celebration. So he showed unstable traits and almost, I would say, feminine traits of outbursts, where a lot of times, you know, it's just understood that a man would be stoic about that. Now, I'm not saying that men aren't emotional. I'm saying that men are best served by controlling their emotions. That's all I'm saying. Now let's look at Kim. Let's look at Kim. Now, we all know that Kim has a questionable sexual history, to say the least. Now, I know women, why are you going to talk about Kim's sexual history? You men are so misogynistic. Okay, maybe we are. Maybe we're not. Maybe we just don't want our wives to have a sex tape.
We're not going to pull that one up.
We're not going to pull that one up.
Yeah.
Look at Scott coming in with the heater. Maybe we don't want that, right? Maybe men don't care. But the man that she got to commit to him had a history of mental illness. So everybody knew, the reason why I say this is because everybody knew what they were getting into. Everybody knew that they were getting into. Kanye knew and Kim knew. And what has Kanye have? He has 4 beautiful children. And as you see, whenever kids are involved, it gets very emotional. It gets very emotional when kids are involved. So Scott, us being from situations where we've seen breakups, and I've seen breakups with kids from my friends, I noticed that that's the most emotional I've seen some very stoic people. And very logical women I've seen is the most emotion that I've seen from them. And you know, you always look at things from the inner point of view.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm looking at it, I'm like, why don't these people just act right? You know, why are they acting stupid? But do you have any insights on why you think people just get like that? Is it just a primal instinct to take care of their kids, or is it perhaps maybe they just want to one up on the person?
Well, I think a lot of it has to be territorial. I mean, with the human condition, with any kind of animal, we like to stake claim of our space. So anyone that violates that space, whether it's from, like, imagine this. Pete Davidson is with Kanye's kids right now, and he's with Kanye's ex. Does he still have feelings for Kim? I don't know. I mean, their bonds are so strong. The hormones are still interlocked with, you know, oxytocin and all that. The oxytocin and all that. So that love drug. So Pete Davidson is spending time with Kanye's kids, and he's in Kanye's home. He's in Kanye's space. He's in Kanye's mind. So he's there from the external world to the internal world, just occupying all of Kanye's space and time dimension. There we go.
And I think it's obvious that there's some you kind of broke that down, by the way. That's pretty good.
We got Barry here. He nuts. He nuts to want to be back with her.
He's nuts to want to be back with her. Yeah,
Well, she's worth a lot of money, so.
But so is he. Mm-hmm. But interesting enough, I've seen men, once they fall in love, that's one of the things that they lose. They lose control. And they lose control of logic, right? What you do for love, what you would not do, Heck, they had that song, by the way. The cat who sang it was a white cat. My whole life, I thought he was black. Mm-hmm. And then when I seen that, what make you do for love with you, and he was white, and it just blew my mind away. Let's go to the second clip we have queued up.
Second clip?
The second clip. Yeah. While Scott's getting that clip up, because I just sprung it on him, to let you know how epic the struggle stream is. How epic the struggle stream is. But I think it's very interesting what Scott said, that maybe it's territorial. Maybe it's territorial.
This clip, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna share it.
So we're sharing the clip now.
Mm-hmm.
Kim and Pete just went Instagram official. I thought that would be the highlight of the weekend, that Kim finally posted her man, but it wasn't. It was just the beginning, because it was overshadowed by Kanye's battle with Pete, y'all. It all went down when Kanye hit up Instagram. He slammed Kim for letting North make TikToks. Pete decided, you know what, I'm gonna stick up for my girl. So Pete's friend posted the text exchange between Pete and Kanye, where Pete wrote, "I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the blank up." When Kanye wrote back, "Where are you right now?"
So speaking of we should put that picture up because with Pete there with the
go ahead.
But speaking of being on the mind, right? Speaking of being on the individual's mind, wasn't the right thing for Pete to do that. Answer back. I think it was childish and immature, but also saying that, where are you right now? And I'm in your wife's bed on the bottom of it. That's I'm in bed with your wife.
Mm-hmm. All right, we have a little bit of technical difficulties here because Barry is correct. We got the screen share here. Mm-hmm. Messes with the audio.
How bad?
Yeah, kind of bad.
Yeah, it's just crunchy, dude.
All right, try to read it again.
All right, so can you please take a second and calm down? It's 8 a.m. and I don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever met. What she does for those kids is amazing, and you are so effing lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the F up. Oh, you using profanity? Where are you right now? I'm in bed with your wife. And then this fool leaves the ultimate disrespect. The ultimate disrespect. He takes a picture, peace sign, I'm in bed with your wife. I got this guy. I love it when people are hitting me up. What time's your live stream?
Oh, it's right now.
Hold on a second. What time's your live stream? Now. So he says, I'm in bed with your wife. So obviously, there's not a lot of respect between them. Pete's a kid, and he probably hasn't faced probably hasn't faced the problems that could come across that. See, I grew up in an era where you do something like that and dude would come see you. And when he came to see you, there would be a large amount of violence that would pop off because of what you did. Because it's bad enough that you're in his bed. I mean, I'm really glad that there was an ability to send instant pictures because people make stupid decisions like this. And when they make a stupid decision like this, and they do this because he can't take that back. So now here's a question I got to ask. What if Kanye is really unstable? A lot of people want to say he's faking, but what if he's not faking? What if he's unstable? You have a man who's unstable with a lot of money. A man who's unstable with a lot of money who feels that you are personally Steve Davis staying in the way of him seeing his children. A man who's in love with the woman you're in bed with. And so the chances of him blaming her, which he should blame her for the situation. And I'm going to say why in a second. Which he should blame her, and he should be blamed too. I mean, if a marriage dissolves, marriage dissolves. But this situation here is purely on Kim. Why do you think it's on Kim? Because Pete and Kanye were boys. They met at Saturday Night Live when Kanye hosted. Kanye had him at many of his concerts sitting there. Matter of fact, at one of his concerts, rumor is that he was in there when he said, Kim, come back to me. I want my family back and I don't care. Pete was in the audience. That's the rumor. Now, if Pete was in the audience when he said that, if he was in the audience when he said that, and then all of a sudden, he's going to send this picture later. Boy, there's nothing worse than a woman scoring because ain't nothing colder than a woman trying to get back at you, man. Kim, you're looking like you at the Thottery Barn on that one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ladies in the chat gonna be mad at me, but that is thoughtalicious. We got one more clip for you guys before we react to a couple of things, and then we're going to open it up. Because even a lot of professionals and people had comments on it, and one of my favorite comedians, D.L. Hughley, had a comment on it. And what did DL say? DL said before on Vlad TV, he said that if Kanye West was anyone else, he would have had a restraining order on him, because the difference between Kanye West and a restraining order right now is about 20 hit records and millions of dollars. And Kanye responded saying that I will reach out and have you hurt. So Kanye is all of a sudden, Kanye is a gangster. You know, Kanye is Ice Cube in 1988, the N-word you love to hate. And D.L. Hughley had a very rational response to it.
Ready?
Let's roll a clip.
Think about what Kanye said, because I think that I meant what I said. I stand on what I said. Here's the bottom line: we wouldn't know what's going on with you if you didn't always put it in social media. That's the point. You can't make social media. You make it everybody's business. Expect nobody to say anything. And the only thing I cared about is putting my address out there, and making threats. So what ended up happening is I ended up reaching out to some people who knew the people who were supposed to be the people he was going to send. So
it's a lot of people.
So those people call those people. We end up talking. I end up getting him on the phone, and I listened to him for like 15 minutes. I'm telling my kids and this and that. And he said, "You said I was a stalker." I said, "Because I believe that to be true. You are a stalker. I believe that." You just that we go back. You mother. I said, I don't care what you say. I don't care your opinion of me. I stand on the fact that I think your behavior is dangerous. I think you're a stalker, and I think you're indulged too much. I do. That's what I think. And it's only my business, like anybody else's business, because you put it out there. And the only problem I have is you giving my address out and saying that that I passed out on stage because I'm a drug addict. Everybody knows I'm a drunk, not a drug addict. It's crazy.
Get it right. Get it right.
Get my prices.
And so D.L. Hughley is really what people don't know about D.L. Hughley, because he's a comedian. D.L. Hughley is from South Central Los Angeles. D.L. Hughley grew up in the hood, either South Central or Inglewood. I don't want to go too far into it, but I remember he's from one of the neighborhoods in Los Angeles where it's a neighborhood. And D.L. Hughley was a part of, part of the life. You know, at one point he was banging when he was younger. And D.L. Hughley got out using comedy. And a lot of those folks rock with him because DL's funny. So what happens with those people rocking with him?
Sorry.
Big Booty making her fart. Shout out to Baby
Lane Stanfield.
Shout out to Baby Lane Stanfield.
Oh,
thank you so much.
We needed that one.
Keep it coming. We'll read it.
O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Booty Club Sales. Yeah, keep it coming. We'll read it, man. Kanye is big mad. Big facts. Big facts. Kanye is big mad. But with D.L. Hughley, what I think that really needs to happen is that he needs to realize, as Kanye needs to realize that you ain't just going to come out and call shots on certain people, especially in Los Angeles. LA politics is different. Now, what else did Kanye do that was horrible? He doxed D.L. Hughley. Now, being in the internet game, being doxxed is the worst thing that can happen. That's when someone tells you your address and where you live, and like, I'm going to send people for you. And being doxxed is akin to inviting violence. And nobody wants that. But when I say inviting violence, I mean, somebody doxes me and they come to my house, and then they're gonna have something hot go at them, right? That's just the way it happened. So you want to be very careful. So yes, we 100% shout out before the billions, sir. Shout out to you. So 100% that's wrong. It's 100% wrong. Now the question is this. Who's the more wrong, Kanye or Kim? Because I think there's a little blame to go around. And why are they wrong? So I got a couple of things to read I want to react to. I'm going to ask for Scott's reaction to it. And then we're going to open it up. If somebody wants to make some comments. Got before the billions in the house. I always look forward to his perspective. You know, we got some folks here.
Yeah, shout out to all you guys watching this struggle stream. I swear to God, we had this pre-produced plan beforehand. And well, it is called the struggle stream.
Yeah, you know, I mean, folks realize that this is our third time streaming. It's our third time live streaming, right? Or is it our fourth time?
It's our fourth time, I think.
It's our fourth time.
Okay.
I can't even count. That's how long it is, right? It's our fourth time live streaming. And honestly, it gets easier each time, but we're doing more than the average live stream. I mean, we have a green screen, we have production, we have notes, and we're just learning. So thank you for rocking with us. And we hope, or our biggest hope is that we can get more and more competent, and our stories get more and more poignant, and we get more and more interaction. And you folks tell more and more people. With that being said, it's something I really want to react to because there's a couple of things, and I have one reaction, a male's reaction to the story, and now a female's reaction to the story, because I think it's very important to look at both sides. Why do I think it's important to look at both sides? Because I want to compare and contrast the thought process of these two different streams, right? These two different streams of thoughts. The first thing I want to read is from MKK. And it's on Asana.
We were having trouble with the audio when I share a screen with a picture for some reason.
It's still having trouble.
Like, I'm gonna have to tell you to stop if it's still cutting in and out because it doesn't really make sense to read it. But let's try it. What's going on here? What's going on here?
Wow.
Struggle. It's real.
The struggle is real.
Talk for a second.
I'm still talking. Actually, I can just read it right here. I got it.
Just read it, and I'll bring it up.
So, and this is from a lady's point of view, right? And this is some ladies that I knew. They reacted to it. Now, the original post is from Twitter. Wow. That was odd, huh?
Yeah, just keep talking, bro.
And so it said, saw someone talk about how if Kim K, with all the money and resources in the world, can't safely and simply divorce her husband without being harassed and stalked, then it's about time we stop asking women in domestic violence situations the question, why doesn't she just leave? Okay. So, you know, people in the chat, I can read it again if you want. We can put it up there.
Here we go. Keep talking.
But I would just look for the reaction for this, and any reaction that you guys type, we're going to put it up there. And we're going to discuss it. And we're going to leave this open as one of the questions that we can discuss.
Yeah, no, it's messed up. Yeah. We're going to just do without the motion graphics and just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just saying, saw someone talk about how if Kim K, with all the money and resources in the world, can't safely and simply divorce her husband without being harassed and stalked. Okay. So here's one thing that I'll say. Folks, you have to understand. We got Liza Bossy Cakes Redfield. Had to push back on that hot take, uncles. Yes. So I would say this. I personally think that whenever you have this much money involved, there is absolutely no way that you're going to have a simple divorce. That is a fallacy that a lot of people believe about divorce. Divorce is a business contract. Let me get my business hat in. Let me put my business hat on. A marriage is a business contract, and it's the only contract in California that you have to have the state sign on to. Every other contract, the state doesn't have to sign on to it. Unless you're doing a contract with the state. But it's the only time where two private entities, being people, can sign a contract and the state must put their seal on it. What does that mean? That means that it's never going to be simple to break up, especially if there's money involved. If there's money involved, that's BS. Now, here's something else that I believe is BS about this situation. Kim Kardashian can afford all the security in the world. Now, I am pleased to know a lot of folks who do private security. These folks are ex-military special forces. These men will take you apart. She can afford to have 12 of those at her house all the time. And the police will come at a drop of a hat. Please don't be so disingenuous to think that the legal system is so even that just because they have the same or close to the same amount of money that Kanye has the advantage in this situation. From family court to criminal court, women have more advantages in family court. Absolutely, just hands down. They get the kids 80% of the time, whether the men want them or not. And also, when we go to criminal court, men get far harsher sentences for the same items, for the same offenses. And if you really want to take it there, you can look at when a teacher, when she has relations with, look at KO Fit. Hey, Scott with the new cut.
Oh. Yeah, I did it myself. I'm so cheap. I gotta cut my own hair.
Scott be like, I'm Asian. I cut my own hair.
Gotta save that money.
All right. So I always think it's disingenuous, though, back to my train of thought, that the criminal system, if a woman does something with somebody underage, she gets far less time than if a man does something underage. It's not fair. Only thing I'm saying is not fair. Right? Also, Ken can afford anything she wants, including police. So, but it's better for her to milk the whole situation for attention to make Kanye a bigger fool.
So what I gotta say about that is milk the whole situation for attention and make Kanye. It seems like Kanye's gonna do it himself. So it's not. She doesn't really have to do much of anything. I mean, maybe she's doing some passive aggressive moves or actions to get him agitated. But as a man, he should be able to hold himself together. But I know he has some issues. So, I mean, a little bit hard and difficult for him possibly. But to be able to be stoic and have equanimity, I think I said that word right, is basically being calm, composed, collected, and conducting yourself in a way that people all over social media, all over the mainstream media, is having all your business out on blast and putting their 2 cents into it.
I would say this, that we had a clip that we were going to put up, but we're not.
Yeah.
Because the audio goes trash. And we want to give you a good presentation. That Kanye actually was on an interview with Sway, and he said, you know what? I was raised by a single lady, and what happened was that whenever she got upset, I would go full rage, just like a black woman, full black woman rage when I was young. Be waving my hands around and this and that. And then when I got to high school, people are like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Right? So, I mean, having a lack of a masculine figure in your life to kind of guide you through how to deal with this crap and having adversity. Kanye has had plenty of adversity in his life, but he probably never had real adversity with the opposite sex. And that's one of the things that a masculine figure can point you to if you have the right one in your life. I'm not saying that all men know how to do it. What I'm saying is that men sometimes help with this situation. So Kanye went through a bad car accident. This horrible car accident with Kanye, shout out to Hold the Truth Hostage, my Jeep. Shout out to Pro for One, Floor Gangs. Shout out to Barry Hollyoaks. Anyway, I just want to make sure I get my shouts out. But so Kanye went through a bad car accident. He was able in his bad car accident to come back, make something of himself. The song Through the Wire was about him rapping with his jaw wired shut. So, of course, he understands how to deal with that situation. He understands how to deal with physical adversity. He learned that from that. But did he learn how to deal with the emotional adversity? Did he have an older man to say, hey, dude, let me tell you, nobody can get to you like a woman can? My uncle used to tell me like this. I got this skull here, so I'm going to use it. He'd be like, right here, this is your life. and the wrong woman will have you just like this, and she'll just crush you. My uncle used to tell me that all the time. He used to grab my hand and say, "The wrong woman to crush your boy," and I'd be like, "Wow, oh my God!"
That pressure, right?
I'm like, "I'm 9. I'm 9." No, but these things, these are why the older men in your life, they tell you, like, because they've gone through it. This is very important. Shout out to Pro for One Gaming. Floor Gangs, when he says that Kanye adapted his mother's anger, and then which Kanye doesn't have the mental capacity to do, but Kim does. She knows Kanye's situation, but doesn't help with what she chooses to do. Well, that's a very, very interesting take. Is it Liza or Elisa? I'm gonna say Liza, but if I'm wrong, please forgive me. And yes, what did Hold the Truth hostage say? Kanye is winning as it exposes that she is willing to sacrifice her family just to sleep around. Kim is losing because it exposes that Ye was the creative mind. Ye has already won. Her body age done. Ooh.
Hey, so to give a bit of commentary, when someone is extremely creative, they actually borderline straddle the line between madness versus creativity. So there's a whole study on this. Jordan Peterson's talked about it. So I mean, that guy's uber creative, where he's saying that he is the what does he call himself? The god of fashion or something. Do you remember that time when he's saying that he's better than Louis Vuitton and everybody?
Yeah. So it's okay. So it's Leah. Okay.
Leah.
All right. I'll say Leah. I know that Z is there, but I'm gonna go on and do it the way it's supposed to be done. All right. So, hey, that's a very impressive point, Hold the Truth hostage. By the way, Hold the Truth hostage, excellent content creator. Very sound logic. You should all get over there and sub his page. We'll make sure we drop it in a chat eventually. Yeah. So, with that being said, I want to give my take on this, my real take on this, of this one, because we have another clip. We have From a Man's Point of View coming up. But my take on this is quite simply this. If a man has the same financial outlets as a woman during a divorce, since the law favors a woman, I just don't think that the man has the upper hand. I also think it's very disingenuous to say that a woman can't have a safe and sound divorce. Sleeping with your homeboy's friend is not trying to get a safe and sound or simple divorce. People have to stop excusing bad behavior on both ends. Now, I'm going to talk about Kanye's bad behavior, because he has some over there too. No way that we should excuse any bad behavior anytime. And this comes from a good friend of mine, actually a high school friend of mine who is one of the most sound logic folks. He used to write for a couple of online hip hop magazines. Now he has his own. He has his own company. So God bless him. He's a solopreneur because he got sick of working for people. I know the feeling. So no one is questioning Kanye's love, devotion, and commitment to his children. Personally, I think he is genuinely hurting about the dissolution of his family and the destruction of his bond with Kim. The problem is all of this weird, over the top, and seriously alarming stalker, SHIT, and this is about D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley said nothing at all wrong. The only valid argument anybody could have is mind your business. And Ye has made all of this stuff super public, admittedly on purpose. How is that even possible? Mind your business is why a lot of effed up stuff eventually becomes deemed acceptable to the detriment of us all. Like I've said, continue to say, I got $2, not me, but this gentleman here. I got to watch these people so I can better understand where some of these young people, male and female, are taking their social and relationship cues from, because believe me, they are. It's a train wreck. This is actually a very, very interesting take on this. Because what he's saying is that he thinks Kanye is really hurting. But basically what I take from this is that things that I learned before when I was young. And here's something that I really learned when I was younger before. I learned to keep problems in the house. and to solve problems in the house as much as you can. And if you don't solve problems in the house as much as you can, you open it up for other people to make observations about your situation. And if you don't want someone to make observations about your situation, then please stop. Please stop putting it out there like that. You have to. With that being said, really interested in what you folks think. Really interested in what you folks think. Any questions you have, we'll have it here. What do you guys think? You think you think you guys want to come in on this? You think you want to have a conversation about this? These are the kind of conversations I want to have at the TIP Network. Look, even if something as sensationalistic as this, it's very important for us to break it down and find out what we can learn from it. What we can learn from it at every single junction, because every person can learn from this. Hey, some of the things that people might say is that, man, just don't get married. I hear that a lot in the spear. I hear don't get married a lot in the spear. I hear just stay single for the rest of your life. I hear this in the mental spear. And whatever you do, don't marry somebody with kids already. And there are some stories I can tell about this. I can tell stories of why I believe that marriage is vitally important, or a relationship is vitally important in your life. And it's a personal story why I feel that way. Because I watched a strong man be very dependent on his two sons at the end of his life. And that was something that his wife really should have been there. Really should have been there, but he didn't have a wife. He had two ex-wives, and neither of them was going to be there for that. Let me see. Let's see what the Hold the Truth hostage said. Well, let's give it to Self-Made. Yo.
Self-Made, how are you doing?
How you doing, my G? Self-Made, Mr. Behind the Scenes. If only y'all knew the connections that man had. All right, so this will, let me put on my glasses to read it. This will only further place a young man that you can sleep with her, love, marry, but you will never offer more than government incentives. Also, it proves you can't turn an attention HOE to a housewife.
Ha!
Well, I mean, this is potent. This is potent, right? This is potent because these are two things, right? And it's hard because what he's saying is that, you know, no matter how much you provide in provision, the government can do more. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's the type of person, but also it says that you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You know, shout out to every rapper who's from the West Coast who's ever said that. You can't be a captain, right? Shout out. So what do you guys think about this, huh? Look, Hold the Truth, if you want to come up, you could definitely come up. I love your commentary on this. Pro for One, of course, we know you. Definitely come up. Now, Hold the Truth, and certain my folks, we are not making anybody cam up. However, if I don't know you, you got to cam up. At least so I can see you. You at least got to let me see you if I don't know you. Everybody in the chat, you're welcome, though. We're going to drop the link. We want to get you on. We want to get some commentary on this. Before the billions, I know you're out there. Love to have your commentary on this. Love to have different people's perspective on this. Right? Any ladies in there, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. You know, I'm sure, and I am, my takes, I am okay to be challenged on my takes. You know, I am okay to be challenged on my takes. So we're going to drop the link. We're going to pull you up. We're going to see what's going on.
J Worldwide. Thank you, Jason, J Worldwide TV, giving us a $50 super chat.
What?
We appreciate it very much so. Jason Worldwide, Jason, my y'all.
Jason
is one of my good friends, and he's always been supporting me and supporting the TIP Network and what we do. Man. So he runs a shop out here in San Mateo called San Mateo Sports Nutrition with him and his partner Tree. And so if you guys are in the area, make sure you go to San Mateo Sports Nutrition.
Yes.
J Worldwide TV is the most entertaining, righteous dude that helps promote everyone in his community.
Definitely. And I want to say something about J Worldwide TV that you don't know, Scott.
Okay.
You don't know this. Jason knows this. During the pandemic, I went on this weight loss journey because I was 100 pounds heavier. So I went there and I got all my vitamins from San Antonio Sports Nutrition. I got them all from J Worldwide.
Mm.
Man, thank you.
You got the protein pasta too, right?
I got the protein pasta, right? Because I got the chickpea pasta. I talked to him and he showed me some things that helped me change my diet. Now, people don't understand that sometimes a 5-10 minute conversation can really have an impact on your life. And that's why I do this here, right? That's why I do this here, because sometimes a 5 and 10 minute conversation. So we're going to drop the link. We're going to have conversation. Shout out to Amar, my jiu-jitsu brother. You're talking about somebody with an interesting story. This man is an interesting person. One day we'll have him on and we'll have him talk his point of view.
Hey, shout out Poppy Blanco. You got to
Poppy Blanco TV. Poppy Blanco TV. Shout out to you. So let's drop the link and let's see what people got to say about this.
All right. So let me double check the link. It's actually that's what I was doing. And did it show up? I guess it didn't. It's not good.
Well, let's drop the link again. Just
yeah. What is going on here?
The struggle stream is real. You know what though? The background is great. Shouts out to us spending about 30 minutes on the background. trying to get
because it's barely making it right now.
Barely, dude. Just
otherwise, you're gonna see the back of Grover's wall here.
Yeah. You're gonna be like, I thought y'all had a great studio, a great
more paint,
great value studio.
Why your walls dirty?
Great value.
I don't know why. Like I did on YouTube chat, but it didn't show up in the chat.
Interesting.
So who knows? Who knows?
Is it in?
It's going. It's loading. Yep, it's up.
All right. So you guys hit it if you want to. Of course, I know Hold the Truth. I know Hold the Truth. If you want to come up, my brother.
So, what do you think of Pete Davidson's response?
All right, so I think Pete Davidson needs his butt kicked.
Really? So why does he need his butt kicked?
Because, man, you don't take a picture from somebody's ex-woman's bed. Ex-woman's bed. Right on.
All right.
On. That's cool.
So we have Hold the Truth hostage here.
Oh.
Adding you to the screen, my brother. How are you doing, sir?
All right, man. What's good?
First of all, hey, man, I'm going to say this with the most masculine voice I can, because your voice, you make Barry White want to put some bass in it. That's what's good. Man, so this is pretty crazy, this Kim and Kanye stuff. What do you think about it, man?
Well, I mean, to me, it exposes, man. People got to understand Kim is worth over $1 billion, man. It just exposes how much the modern woman has become infected to the point where even at $1 billion, you don't value the life of your children. You know what I'm saying? You don't value providing them a family structure. You know what I mean? And that, to me, that's what no one's looking at. I'm not looking at the drama. I'm not looking at none of that. I'm just looking at all this money she has, yet she still insists on using the incentives the government has to rip their children away from feeling whole. You know, a lot of people talk about, oh man, the children don't have access to their father. People just look at it from the physical, that child is half their mother, half their child. And when you have to exist knowing that half of you is demonized, that child's growing up living as an embodiment of hate. And you gotta understand how that's gonna affect their psychological standing, you know. And the thing is, Kanye could walk away. You know, he could easily walk away from this, but he's exposing that this is Kim. This is her true nature. Attention over what they call it, maternal instincts. You know, you got all this money, you could fly your kids back and forth with their father, but you insist on using the courts and trying to demonize them. But luckily for Kanye, man, he's too smart. He's got a whole religious group behind him. This is only gonna hurt her brand. If she would have, and it shows that she's the one that's jealous. Because you're moving on with Pete Davidson, whoever that dude is, you would just allow the father to be with his kids. But it just shows that the jealousy is real, man.
Can I ask you a question? So do you think that his religious foundation is going to help him through this?
Oh, yeah. Because you got to understand that Kanye, to me, he's transcended, man. And now all those religious people following him, whether people agree or not, they're going to look at Kim and say, look, the man tried to, to borrow what Jesus said. He didn't throw stones at the, I don't want to use the word, but he didn't throw stones at her, and he accepted her. And this is a woman who's publicly had multiple videos, sleeping with men here and there. And he went, accepted her, and made her an icon. You know what I'm saying? He made her more than a video. You know what I'm saying? Fashion, all that. The man made her what she is to the next level. Now she's exposing without the man. Yo, what has she done lately? Nothing.
Yeah, it was really interesting because I seen this. She had shared on Twitter, get off your effing arses and get up to work. And I was like, I mean, I know you've made a lot of money off of being a brand, but what has your job been? like as far as, I mean, I'm sure at one point she feels like she's working hard, but it always disturbs me when, because I do a white collar job right now, and I say, not only do I say I do a white collar job, but I do a white collar. I work very hard. I worked all the way up from, I was a person who washed toilets at first. So when I sit down and tell people what to do, I feel very happy doing it, because I worked my way up. However, I remember how that hard day work was. So like whenever folks come in and they're doing that job, they have a say, especially in my site or my organization, they have a say because what can I do? I've been there before. I understand how it goes to go home and you got to take a shower as soon as you get home, not in the morning when you wake up. As soon as you get home, you got to shower to get that day off of you before you can relax. And so when I see quotes like this from somebody who I know didn't have to go through that, I mean, maybe it's that blue collar background that, my dad being in the military, then a carpenter, makes me really despise her. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie.
But you know what I don't mean to interrupt you. You know what you just exposed? That, Kanye was the grounded person. Kanye grew up with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Struggle and, like y'all was saying, he had a broken jaw, still was rapping, whatever. He was the grounded image. Notice that before, when Kanye was with her, you didn't hear none of this. You didn't hear no get a job or her being uppity and talking down to people. It was just, she's got a new fashion. She got some braids, whatever it is. But now Kanye's missing that, kept her grounded. Now she just walking around and in all honesty, trying to be a trophy, but you a trophy for Pete Davidson, who's a drug addict. That's a comedian that, that looked like a starving ass llama. You know what I mean?
Shout out. I knew it was going to come. I knew it was coming. I was holding it. I was sitting there. I was like, if you guys if you've never seen this man, he has the best one-liners that I've ever heard. Starving llama. Sir, please continue. The floor is yours.
Because, man, look at it. I mean, yes, she had that True Hollywood show, but Kanye gave her a family. The man even did a surrogacy with her. To me, a lot of times we're in a culture where we look to hate the man. Most of us won't agree that, Kanye he went after leftovers, man. Let's be real. Kim Kardashian was, meatloaf at a high price, some bitten meatloaf. That they put some sardines and some of that what they call that crap, them fish eggs, caviar. It's meatloaf with caviar, and he bit it. He gave it. He married it, gave her kids, all that. He overinvested, and then we're so quick to demonize the man rather than he made a bad choice, but the man saw something in her, and turned her, who was known for videos sleeping with Ray J. The list goes on, and he wifed her. And
Yes,
then
sir.
now that man's being demonized. A man who never been in a video for beating his kids. What
That's
has
true.
Kanye done to his kids? You know
No,
what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I think Kanye has proven to be a very present father.
Mm.
You know, he's been a present father, and I'm not gonna say anything else. Now, look, I don't agree with all of the, you know, all of the back and forth with people on live video. I mean, that's just not my style, though. Like, I mean, people who have any conversations with me, you've talked to me. You know, I choose my words carefully for a reason, because you said something that I totally believe in. Men. Did he drop off?
Let me see. Oh, he's got to
There he
refresh
is.
his connection.
Here, let's put him back in. You okay? You back?
Man.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh.
You got that great value service. But men,
I mean, you know they don't give us the real Comcast. We got the great value Comcast brand.
We got the great value cast. But my brother, you said this before, like when you and I always believe this, when you're addressing a man, you address a man a certain way. Because if you go too far with a man, you have to deal with the man who's standing in front of you, and you don't know what that man could do. I remember one of the first conversations we had. That was one thing that came up. It was a behind the scenes conversation. You were saying, like, a man is a weapon, and that man standing in front of you can hurt you, and you can hurt him. So what you need to do is make sure that as somebody in that situation that you address them properly. And that's why, like, when you talk to me, you hear me taste my words, because not that I'm not scared of anything. I want to make sure I get the proper message across, because words can be interpreted different ways, and I speak differently than you speak, just because of a regional dialect. I don't, if you're from halfway around the country and I speak a different way, I might say something else. I might drop some bass slang that Pro understands, and you might get off the phone and be like, "This dude is straight a weirdo talking about hella fresh." Nobody says fresh anymore, and I've been saying hella fresh since I was literally 12 years old. It's just one of the things.
Nothing wrong with it, man.
Yeah,
Me,
but
man. Oh, go on, my bro.
Your take is totally interesting, man. Is there anything else you want to say before I go to Pro?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's this, man. We got to stop falling for that drama. They just toss drama. What we got to look at it for what it is. What has Kanye done to his children? And he's done nothing. He's been there as a father. The man moved them to a ranch. We don't have one sign that the man did anything wrong. But as soon as the man he had to think about this. He had to sneak to his children's birthday, man. And for us to sit here and be comfortable, saying that the man's losing his mind or whatever, the man had to sneak to see his children during their birthday. That is just, and you don't have, like, I lost one of my family members, and I'm gonna drop something. A lot of people don't understand that why it hurts you so much when you lose family. The reason it hurts you so much is that if you walk outside of the world, you can have 100 people outside. The only people you can pinpoint to and say, "Oh man, that's my family. That's my family." So you can spot them out. Every time you lose someone close to you with your bloodline, you lose someone that they were the only people that had it. And now Kanye's got to wake up knowing that, man, the man has to fight and argue to see his children. That's just, and they walking around as part of that, man. That's hurtful.
It also has an effect on the children. Now, when I was talking about his mental issues, I was talking about the well-documented issues before he got with Kim. And I might actually say this, and it's gonna sound crazy, but I think when he got with her, I said, man, only a man with mental issues would wife her. And I know it sounded crazy, but I mean, like one of the things that attract me to my woman is that she's not all out there like that. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that attract me. And so that was one of the things. But man, you make such excellent valid points. Please shout out your page. I want to go to Pro, but I really want you to shout out your page, and I want everybody who has it listen to this man, because he drops some serious knowledge. And as always, what I like the most, because this is me, you got a sprinkle of sarcasm in it. So go on, sir.
Well, it's hold the truth hostage on YouTube. And if you get unsubbed, don't be mad. YouTube's been doing that. I'm aware, I think y'all network, y'all know we part of the shadow ban group.
Yes.
We say a few words that disagree with that algorithm, we shadow ban.
Well, we've been there a lot ourselves. So just please understand. It's like we produce something. I'm like, this is the best thing we've ever done. 2 people watched it. But wow, when I'm gonna, how many impressions did we get? 4. We're at 50% click-through rate, so but absolutely, and we will I will be getting contact with you behind the scenes to have you on as a featured guest. I think that we can have a very interesting conversation, and I'm gonna put you on the spot and hit you up right now. So you gotta say yes, or you can say no, because a man is a man. He does what he wants.
Well, I mean, of course, man. To me, man, you just hit me up and we schedule it. We do what we gotta do, man. The way I look at it, and I saw Pro on the last stream y'all doing, we building a network, man. And even with what you said with Fresh and all that, we can't be afraid to say the lingo we used to say, because once we try to adapt with everything going on, you lose your identity. Then the younger kids are like, yo, what do you have to offer me? Because you're trying to blend in with me versus, yo, man, I still say dope. I still say that joint is clean, whatever, man. If you need me to explain it, I'll explain it to you, man.
Absolutely. Because nothing's worse than an old dude who's trying to be young. There's nothing worse than that. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. We want to give everybody a chance to talk. So thank you. We're going to drop you down. And, you have a home here. You're welcome to come back anytime you want, my G.
Yes, sir.
Respect, man. Word.
Respect. Thank you.
All right. See you around.
All right. And now we got Pro.
What up?
What's up?
Chilling,
How
man.
are you doing, sir? How are you doing? So what do you think about this crazy Kim and Kanye situation? Man, I know it's a mess, but I think there's a lot we can learn as adults and as men.
Yeah. Just to go with whole truth. I think Kanye's intention of being a good father is there. Like I don't think no one's like doubting that part, right? Like you could tell he wants to be with his kids. You could definitely tell that, right? The situation is it's all a mess because there's a lot of trauma in all angles, right? And then just like what you said, Grover, like he still picked her, like everyone knows where she's been. He still picked her, but then even prior to that, who was he dating? He was dating what's her name? Skinhead girl. What's her name? Bald headed.
Yeah,
as Willie D said, bald headed hoe.
Amber Rose.
Yeah.
She had the slut walk, after his mom passed away, it was kind of like, he just went off the deep end and just went for the glitz and the glamour. You know what I mean? I think and that's what and then he just went to the next level of that. And as Whole Truth said, did he put her on game, Kim on game, on fashion? And Kanye definitely did that. No one's taking away from Kanye's talent. Obviously, he's talented, but he has that archetype, the Carl Jung archetype of the tortured artist. Do you know what I mean? And what he's picking, but it's not clear-headed because, as you said earlier in the stream, he had no guidance. The elders didn't, you know what I mean? The elders didn't really. Probably didn't have a masculine father figure or something of that type to teach him about the opposite sex. You know what I mean? And you could tell if you watch the documentaries, if you watch the Netflix documentaries, you can see his only mentors were music guys, which is No ID and Doug Infinite. Shout out to Doug Infinite. He actually lives in the Bay now, who's from Chicago, who taught, if you saw the Kanye documentary, they talked about Doug Infinite creating the speed up soul samples. That's Doug Infinite. He lives in the Bay. He has a record shop in Hayward called Stax Records. So you want to check that out.
Oh, he's so he owns Stax.
Yeah. That's Doug Infinite. Yeah.
It's 15 minutes away, man.
Yo, word. Yeah, so Doug Infinite, my band Del Rocks, and then, him and No ID they basically showed Kanye how to produce. Because Doug Infinite used to he used to live own a skate shop in Chicago, and everyone used to like he would have his like turntables there. He had linoleum there, and you know all the hip hop and skate kids would go to that shop, and Doug was the manager. Yeah.
Excellent. You know, what's something that's very interesting is that when I started producing music, I really, I mean, I started before I knew about No ID, but he was really one of my influences. I'm of course. Being from the West Coast, one of my early influences was Dre, and then Easy Mo B. Right. So Dre, Easy Mo B, the whole Bomb Squad. So if you listen to the stuff I do now, there's a whole lot of like, I love organized chaos and getting it, but but No ID, like I tell anybody to heartburn, no ID to me, because he actually on the under makes some of the hottest Latin hip hop. So Fever from what's his name? Rhymefest. He produced Fever. And that was one of my favorite songs to this day. It came out on Rhymefest. God, look at me going straight hip hop. People are like, Rhymefest? That's Rhymefest. But I know being from the Shy knows who Rhymefest
there you go.
is because you know, but Rhymefest being one of my favorite artists because he wrote most of Kanye's hot stuff. Most of Kanye, the old Kanye was actually Rhymefest writing that, you know.
Yeah.
And so
it's dope.
The new Kanye is Kid Cudi.
Hip hop's rule.
Exactly.
The
new Kanye is Kid Cudi, and I'm gonna get off this in a second. It's Kid Cudi and it's Pusha T. That's really the new Kanye. But anyway, all right. So I digress. I'm sorry to go on.
But I mean, we got Kanye too. 100. You know what I mean? Twista, like you know, like Mr. Remember Mr. Tongue Twister when he was under Loud? You know what I mean? Like, bro, in like 1992.
It was dope. Here's the thing to your point, though.
Yeah.
Is that I really think that watching that he didn't really have that dominant male influence to tell him how to pick, and you know, certain things that the male influences in my life would tell me. And this is why I talk like this. They would tell me stuff, and it didn't make sense to me until I was old enough to understand it, but I remembered it. A lot of times as a mentor or as somebody who's helping people, your job is to tell people stuff that they don't want to know and they can't take. And you got to try to give it to them in a way. Like, I mean, I tell kids all the biggest thing I tell young kids, I tell this to every kid between 14 and 16. I look at them and I say, you ain't shit.
Yeah, 100.
Just so you understand, you 100. Ain't did nothing in life. You're not special. You're not special. You can be special if you work.
But they get 5th place trophies, though. They're very special.
I will slap a 5th place trophy out of your hand. I tell the story all the time. I got a 5th place trophy. My dad took it and threw it in the garbage in front of me and went up to the coach and threatened violence. If you give my son this stuff, telling him he could be mediocre and make it in this world. You cannot be, and I say this specifically to minorities, all the white folks, if it hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. You cannot be a minority in this country and think you're going to get by being flipping average. I'm sorry. What you're going to be if average minority, you will be homeless. You will be homeless. Period. And if you don't believe in me, prove me wrong. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Nah, 100. Nah.
Hold on, Grover. I gotta prove you wrong, Grover. I gotta prove you wrong. Because the average person ain't homeless. But you know,
but a C plus African American who represents the bottom 11% of the economy in this country are probably going to be close to homelessness.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I just wanted to mess with you.
How dare you? I hurt my finger doing that.
No, but here's the thing. Like, just to go back what you were saying. It's like the whole thing is like. So you learned that from your uncle. So I came from a single parent home. Like
I learned it from my uncle and I learned it from my dad, because
I learned it the hard way.
Yeah,
I learned it the hard way, like through messing up. You know what I mean? Then realizing, oh, I'm missing this, and you know, and I was on Duke's stream yesterday talking about like I was a serial like relationship guy, right? Like I would like go back to back in relationships. And I didn't realize like some of the feminine energy and the anger. And I think, you know, Jesse Lee Pearson talks about getting that energy from the mother of the anger of the singlehood and then it channeling to the kids. And then I'm reacting like that in relationship. It took me a while to kind of figure that out and be like, oh, I had to look at my friends that grew up with their dads, even though they're divorced or around. It's like, oh, there's like a stoicism. There's a calmness. And, you know, a lot of women, they say like, oh, I want a man to be emotional. It's like, no, you want him to understand his emotions, but not react emotionally.
And let me jump in
You know
real
what I mean?
quick. So the word that you're talking about with the relationship where you're with people in a singular file line, I guess, is a serial monogamist.
You take it where I'm
So
going.
being a serial monogamist, I've heard many times, like I have nothing bad to say about my ex-girlfriends or anything, but I've heard many times, like you have to be more in touch with your emotions. You gotta be more sensitive. And I'll just say my personal experience, that never ends up working very well at all. So I second what you're saying there.
Have you seen Jason Wilson? Have you heard of Jason Wilson?
No.
Oh, okay. So he had his YouTube clip went viral, and it was like he's an African American brother from Detroit, and he was teaching young kids to get their black belt test, and he was the one that said it's okay for you to cry. You cry, you go through it, because this kid was trying to break a board, and he couldn't do it, and he was like getting frustrated, and he's like, okay, it's okay to cry. So it's okay to be in touch with your emotions. It's just you don't project it onto your significant other. You know what I mean? You address like, yo, that sucks, or this hurts, but instead of like, oh, you do like like that emotion, like what we see at Kanye. Like, let's be real, like that's what he's doing. He's being like, we understand his emotions, but he's being emotionally reactive.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
And he's doing it wrong because, in a sense, that he's doing it in front of the media, in front of the whole world, where people can judge him and make it even worse with the symptoms he has with his own mental health issues.
So I want to answer just a question before I went to.
Sure.
I was emotionally charged, so I wouldn't grab me a drink. You know, our studio. Anybody who ever comes to our studio understand it comes equipped with a full refrigerator. I
got to stop by sometime.
we in the same neighborhood, so check it out.
Hey, man.
Here's the deal. A lot of folks, when I talk about my dad, they just assume. Here, send me the link. I'll send it to Poppy Instagram. Or you, because Poppy's looking for the link.
I can put it in there. I can put it in there for you guys.
Cool.
Thank you.
They just assumed that my dad and my parents weren't divorced. My dad and my mom separated when I was young. But here is the difference between people who came up in the 60s who were born in the 40s and were part of segregation. They understood how important life was to have the family intact, because especially families coming from the South, that was everything. So, and I tell this story a lot, and my mom doesn't understand how important it was to me that she did this. When she was mad at my dad, she went in the bedroom and she talked bad about him, not in front of me, number one. Number two, my dad came to Thanksgiving. My dad came to my birthdays. My dad came to dinner quite often. If my family was in from out of town, they say, hey, get Big. I'm Little Grover, even though I'm about 3 inches taller than him and about 100 pounds heavier than him. I'm Little Grover. He's Big Grover. And Big Grover kept the Big Grover thing alive because he would smack me until the day he died. Okay, so it was Big Grover. So it's like, make sure Big Grover come over here. How's Big Grover doing? Oh, man, Big Grover used to take me fishing. My mom's brother, he used to take me fishing, tell me all these good stories. No one had bad things to say about him, even though the marriage ended. So how did that teach me? It taught me how to be respectful and how to respect my father. It also taught me how to respect, because I've been in relationships with people who are separated. It taught me how that should be if they have kids. See, a lot of folks in this sphere, they're going to
get him. Marcus, can you say something so we know it's you?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Oh, there you go.
There
we go.
Just making sure.
Yeah, so a lot of people.
You can never be too late. You never be too sure.
Hey, we ain't trying to get Lapeefed, but
I get you. I get you.
Oh God! Here we go.
Oh, it's gonna get good. So let me say this right quick, and then we're gonna give you some last words, Pro. We're gonna introduce Big Will, all right? Because I want to make sure that we don't talk over each other and keep rotating, and I really want to be organized with this. So,
and Woody Johnson, if you're still here, come back up.
Yeah,
I want you to come up.
So a lot of folks, I tell you this, a lot of folks don't understand how important that was to me. I know how to deal with somebody with children because my mom always put a precedent that no matter what, your dad is still your dad. And that's so important. And that used to happen a lot. This is why it's so horrible when men say, don't be a stepfather because you have no rights. You're not treated right. That's why, because women didn't understand the rightful place of folks. But I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to be honest. The relationship that my mom and my dad had, because my dad was also my sister's adopted father. And the relationship had to the day he died, they called him dad. They were at his funeral. Well, actually, one of my sisters had passed already. They were at his funeral and they cried just like I cried when he died. So this is something that's very important for people to understand that. It's very important. And I'm not trying to talk great about it. What I'm trying to say is that my dad, even my niece, even my little niece was there when my dad had a stroke. She wasn't directly blood related because she was my sister's daughter, but he was grandfather. And my little niece who was there was the reason why my dad, when he had a stroke, it was a minor stroke and not a major stroke, because she was visiting. So there's ways, I have to tell people that there's ways, and it may seem odd, but it doesn't have to be odd. So much that men who step up to the plate aren't respected as they should be. And so that's what I wanted to say about that relationship, because Kanye, if he had someone like this, he wouldn't be in this situation, because somebody would have taught him stoicism. My dad taught me stoicism. The way he taught it to me is, listen, boy, you better be better than everybody else, and nobody cares. Yep. All right, Pro, let me give you some last words. I know I got on my high horse, but I'm really passionate when I talk about my family.
No, it makes sense, because that's the thing I think, when we talk about millennials and Gen Xers and stuff like that, is that one thing I was thinking a lot, like everyone's like, like everyone's getting on the, like, Rollo Tomasi saying this, Rollo Tomasi that, but there's a point, maybe he's translating it the wrong way. The thing is, that's an attractive quality in anyone, is that, are you a leader of men? And that's a thing that's missing. They're just trying to show game, You could tell who's a leader of men when they walk into the room. You could tell that they can hold court. You could tell they're confident. And there's like, oh, we like confidence. Like, girls like confidence. No, this is where we're talking. They could read a leader of men and knowing how to have that presence and talk properly and do it without, not in an intimidating way, but just they have this self-confidence of holding court. And I think that's one thing that is not being taught. No one's talking about that. They're just like, oh, you can game this, you can do that. No, but the first thing is, can you lead? Can you lead a troop? Can you hold down court? Can you actually, and a leader to listen to your tribe, your group, see who's the best at whatever they're at, get good at that too, and then hand out the assignments to whoever, and you all do that rotationally. That's a lead. That's not taught, and that's what's attractive, and that's something that's essence that when you walk into a room, a person knows that. You know what I mean? And like you have guys like Aiden Ross, who's like 21 and doing simp stuff, and he's not gonna listen to anyone because he's young and he has 1 million followers, and that's the problem. You know what I mean?
And you are so correct. You are so correct, because you could say game, but what game sounds like is shallow.
Right.
Leadership is substantial and substantive. I've been in charge of people at the workplace. My first supervisor role, I was 15 years old. And I'll drop a gem on everybody. 410 North Avenue, Century Theaters in South San Francisco, San Bruno border.
Damn.
Been closed for years, but that's what
$5 movies.
Yes. But that's what I was a supervisor there. I was the youngest supervisor there, and people told me, what are you doing? How can you be a supervisor? Right? And that's the thing. I was a young man. Excellent last words. Pro, tell them what you do, man, so they can follow you on the ground.
Did you change your YouTube channel? Because I cannot find it, and I have you subscribed. So can you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, Profo. Okay, so Profo 1, Floyd Gangs. Basically, I'm mostly on Instagram. I do tutorials. On Instagram, I'm PROFO_FLGZ, and it's mostly dance stuff, workout stuff. I talk a little bit in the camera, and that's where I do most of my teaching, if anything, and it's just like I mentor people. Like, it's not like, but it's performance, because because now the thing is with breaking, it just entered the Olympics. So I'm just trying to position myself before it hits 2024 Paris. So, and it's just like, I grew up and I see, I see the space and I'm like, there's a lot of young people. And I see like maybe a handful of people that are 50, and the ones that are older are the ones that like, Rollo Tomasi and what's his name, Rich Cooper. And, they're not, it's just general versus like everything's going to be niche and everything's going to be super specific to that individual person. And that's the thing that's the problem if we're just trying to do scale in this, and you can't. Stuff like this is not scale. Stuff like this, especially if you came up, I'm seeing a lot of like, maybe there's a lot of people that in the space that have Asperger's, you know what I mean? Where they're only taking everything literally and they can't, because on Duke's live stream yesterday, he had a transgender called Dex who basically talked about like, I'm a little bit on the spectrum, so I take everything literally. And I feel like maybe more people in the space have that too. Everything's literal. And these are the little nuances. And I try to think, what is game? It's like, it's that leader of men that people could, see when the person walks in the room. It's that dominance hierarchy that's in every person, except maybe we do it in intelligence, maybe we do it in art, but there's still that dominance hierarchy. And that's still an attractive quality to anyone, not just women, to anyone. We're going to be attracted to someone that's dominant in whatever niche that they have. And that's how you attract anyone. That's, you know what I mean? And then they'll translate. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's for free.
We need the applause, man.
Right out. Oh,
who was that? Before the billion?
That's before the billion.
Yeah, I gave you the applause on that one. I like that.
Sound effects. I like
all right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Crow, Juan,
yes, sir.
Floor Gangs. So watch him on Instagram. Excellent content creator on the ground, and we're gonna have to get with him on the ground so we can learn that Instagram gang.
I'm on it. I'm not no clickbait, no whatever, slow burn. Let's make it happen.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Excellent content creator. We're gonna drop you down. Thank you for your comments and providing us entertainment, sir. Thank you and have a great evening.
All right, have a good night.
And next we have Before the Billions. Please give yourself a round of applause because we're going to get our Stream Deck. Now I got to order a round of applause. See how you did that? Now I got to go order a Stream Deck. I got to get one now within like the next week because you got me jealous.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, get myself an applause.
So what do you think about this crazy Kim and Kanye thing? Because I approached it for like, is he being a good father? Is he trying to simp his way back into her? So
yeah, I think he should leave her alone, to be honest with you. I know that's his wife or ex-wife, or I don't know if they already finished with a divorce or not.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I think that as long as he's focusing more so on the children, that'll be better off. I don't know him well enough to say he's a bad dad or a good dad. I do agree that he has every right to say that his daughter doesn't need to be on social media at the age that she is now. He has every right to say, hey, you can't have a social media account. And that's just, how it is. Their whole lives is based off of social media. But you see the controversy that it creates, all the negativity that's on social media as well. And you really don't want children to be affected by this. So Grover, to answer your question, I would lean more towards on him being a good dad than a bad one.
Excellent. I think that I would agree with you that he's a good dad. I do think he's showing out, and I think on social media everything's personified. Like maybe I'm just old school because I think, man, we got to keep it in the house. Oh, look at KO Fit.
Facts. You got to keep it in the house. Keep the business in the house.
Yes, I am from Atlanta.
Yeah. So I think so is KO Fit. That's Grind and Motivate. KO Kid Fit, Grind and Motivate, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the way, KO Kid Fit or Grind and Motivate, one of the funniest content creators I've ever watched, dude. Like you cannot watch his videos and drink anything, you'll spit it all over the place. But let me get back. Let me get back to you. So I think he's a good father, but I think that also something has to be said of like, what do you expect when you get with somebody with such a questionable history? I mean, like we talk about vetting all the time in the mental sphere or just in general, right? Because when you go get a job, you vet the company. I mean, this is things that I don't understand. Like when I work for the company I'm working for now, right? I really vetted the company. Like, how did they do in the last year? What are their plans? When did they go IPO? Like we're talking, I'm talking startup talk, but when did they go IPO? And what was their forecast and what were they willing to give me, right? Mm-hmm. That's what people do. And so, but I think it's so when you fall in love and your heart gets in the way, because I wasn't in love with the company. What I was with the company is I was like, I want to work there. I want to work with this company. I can bring a lot of value to this company with my knowledge. However, if they don't want to give me what I want, I'm going to walk away. If they don't have what I need, I'm going to walk away, right? And I really, as crazy as it sounds, I think we need to be that matter of fact with relationships. Like, hold on a second. Let me check the Carfax, or as we would call the whole facts, and let's check it out and see what's going on. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but
Yeah, you know what? It's something that you said earlier today about how Pete Davidson or Skeet and Kanye were friends.
Yeah.
Before all of this, and then for her to go after the friend, it really does say a lot. But
man,
it also kind of goes back to the history, like you said. And I can't stand when people say, "Oh, you know what? The history doesn't matter. The past doesn't matter." I'm like,
hold on a second. First of all, Poppy, thank you for waiting until I was done drinking before I read that, because I would have spit all over the computer. Kanye to smash Chloe and Courtney as payback. Poppy, you have the greatest barbershop talk of anybody in the manosphere. If you don't start the barbershop talk, I'm going to go find you and we're going to get into it, man. You got the one takes, the one hitter quitters. Respect.
I don't want those problems, man. I don't want those problems, yo. I'm going to start going live real soon.
Yes, let me get back to the billions. We're going to rotate right to you. We're going to rotate in order. I want everybody to get their thoughts out on this. So before the billions.
Yes. And I was saying that I hate when people say, "Oh, you know what? The past doesn't really matter." But then when you think about it, the past, like, okay, what relationship were you in before this? And if you say something like at Brittany Renner, for example, right? She made a whole book about all her previous relationships, and then even talking about some things that she almost ended somebody's life, in the book. I'm like, I think that's pretty important. And even though it happened in the past, that's when that will let you know. And especially in this sense, right? He came out with the reason why she's so famous. I think that says a lot about hey, you should have known already. You really shouldn't have gotten married, to be honest with you. Because hey, you know what? That's the whole point in vetting. But she's been married. I think this is her third marriage, right? Am I correct on that one? I like. I think you've been married, 2 times before me. I'm not trying to be the third one.
Yeah, it's so interesting because, like, I have a lot of men come in. I mentor them, right? I've been doing it for free all my life, and they always ask me questions. And I always tell them I can only give you the information that I have right now. So the advice that I get, Poppy's a man. The advice that I gave as 28 is very different than 38, very different from 48. That makes sense. So at 28, I would tell somebody, man, if she's been married before, come on, bro, what you doing? What you doing, right? At 38, it's like, all right, bro, if she been married before and she got like a kid, it's all right. At 48, it's like, all right, she been married before and if she got a couple of kids, as long as they by the same man.
All right, so let me ask you this question, William, before the billions. If a woman has an extensive history, would you consider marrying her? It's a real question. No. And
hold on. Say that again. Say it just like you said it.
No.
Yeah. Like, no. Hey. You said no, like when someone asking, please, mercy. No.
So what's your reasoning why you wouldn't marry someone that has such a high body count?
right? I mean, the thing that I do is I look at percentages. I live in Atlanta. STD is going crazy down here, and I ain't trying to get none of them. I don't want them problems. And I like the closer you get to that percentage, you might have came across at least one of them folks.
I gotta start timing sips between what y'all say. You almost have me spitting.
I'm just being real. Like
no, for real. I absolutely understand. And look, here's the deal. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. When you looking at I've been, man. Let me be very careful because we can't call out no names. I've been like hanging out with my homeboys before, and they roll up with like, especially when I was younger, we used to call them the slam pieces. And I'm like, bruh, you wife it up her, okay? Cool, man. Cool, man. And she'd be looking at you, she'll look at you like this. You'll be like, hey girl, how you doing? And she'd be like, hey, don't you dare mess up my thing right now. You'd be like, nah. And then you pull dude to the side and be like, bruh, I ain't trying to say she a gold digger, but she, you know. And he'd be like, use some Kanye funds. Yeah. And dude be like, why you hating? You just upset because you ain't getting it. It's like, bruh.
Well, then why is Pete Davidson with Kim Kardashian? What's his motive? What's his plan?
I don't know what his motive is. What do you think his motive is with that? Besides the fact that, like Barry said, he looked like Beetlejuice was a real person.
He did this before with Ariana Grande and
was it Mac Miller?
Mac Miller. Yeah, Mac Miller. He did that same exact thing where he would antagonize Mac Miller after Ariana Grande and him broke up. So he did the same. So he has a history. See that there we go with the history again.
Yeah.
You gotta beware of the gold diggers.
Look how young Kanye was. Look how young he was before Kim, dude.
We can't play too long.
Yeah.
It's gonna let you know. Yeah, the stream will let you know if we playing copyrighted stuff.
But absolutely. I think that's crazy because Pete does have a thing with this. And I'm gonna tell you something. You notice he picking Kanye and Mac Miller, right? Right. Pete ain't going after Cardi B because he get popped by Offset or one of the Migos, man. I mean,
he's still married though, at least.
Yeah, but he knows who he can mess with though. That's the thing. Because he left the thing like the picture said, I'm in bed with your wife. Hey, bro. I don't care if we broke it up or not. If you send me a picture, I don't even care if I'm trolling. You send me a picture of you in bed with my wife, I may hit you in the head with a sledgehammer. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I do it, but I'm just saying that.
man, Grover, you didn't see Kanye up in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium with the weights of the dumbbells. You see him getting trained up. He's up in there doing push-ups on a like what is it, mattress or something like that. I was like, hey,
Kanye gonna start looking like 50 Cent in his first video. He go beat the hell out of he go beat the not 50 Cent on the Super Bowl. They was clowning him like, man, 900 years old, he can't gain weight. But any last thoughts of this, man? And I want you to plug your channel, and then I'm gonna hit you up because I need to be a featured guest. So we could talk life in Silicon Valley tech.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But yeah, so overall, when I'm talking about, we already discussed, I don't think that Kanye is a bad dad. But I think that what Kanye is doing, he's doing too much. And with that, also Pete Davidson is also wrong in this. I think he's actually probably more wrong than Kanye.
I think he's probably the wrongest one out of everybody.
Oh yeah, going after Kanye in the way he did, and then sending a picture of him in the bed that Kanye pays for. Oh yeah, man, that was one of those things that you ain't supposed to do. But I can't really give Kanye a pass. I know that he has mental health issues, but threatening people, because he threatened several people, right?
He threatened D.L. Hughley.
Yeah, I saw that. And
then D.L. Hughley called Crips, and he stopped threatening D.L. Hughley.
Oh yeah, they're gonna take the doors off your house.
So you got to question Kim Kardashian's judgment too for wanting to go with Pete Davidson, knowing this would turn into something, unless that's the plan.
I think Kim Kardashian is like my uncle said. She one of the women
that once they get that voodoo magic,
they put that Santeria on you, and then right when you think you're good, they crush your head.
The Venus flytrap.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all. Oh, one last thing. Did you see that that picture of Kanye, like he was like hidden in the bushes, in a whole bunch of leaves and stuff like that, trying to mask himself?
That was a lie,
No,
man.
come on, dude.
That was a lie.
That was.
Yeah, that was
That's a lie.
Oh man.
Oh, thank
I know
you.
exactly what you're talking about. He was
Yeah,
funny.
I'm thinking
Look,
like
look
that
at
was
look
true,
at
man.
look at Scott doing his young Jamie from the Rogan show. He trying to find it right now.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny as hell, yo.
Yeah. But
Oh.
also one last thing is that did
Yes,
you
sir.
guys see that music video that Kanye came out with?
Yeah. Yes. With the game.
Yeah. Now, what did you think about that? Like, it had he buried Skeet.
Mm-hmm. He buried Skeet.
Yeah.
Look, man. The thing is, when Kanye does something like that, I'm really not worried about it because Kanye is not, Kanye is not Kanye is not a gangster. I would just say the truth. Kanye, so him saying that is not really a threat because rappers talk bad all the time, right? Now, if you got some old school 90s rappers like Beanie Siegel saying that when he had both lungs, or I think he lost a kidney, that would be a little different. Anybody from Wu-Tang Clan says that, you gotta be scared. They 50 years old and still ain't learned. Except Method Man. He's the only one who learned. Method Man and RZA. Everybody else will bury you. But like, I mean, producing music for as long as I did and being around, literally talking to like, sitting in the same room for all of the undercats from Junior Mafia besides Little C's, they're like regular guys, man. And like a lot of times they report on what they see, but not what they do. A lot of people report on what they see and not what they do because, like if something happened to Pete Davis, Kanye gets
the chat, I'm sorry.
Y'all guys is caping if
man.
Poppy.
I ran
It's
through the
fake
middle.
Listen, I'll do it for a check. I'll do it for a check.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't hit it, man.
Yeah, she old, man.
What?
Shit, I'm older than her. You be quiet.
I'll hit for a check. I'm gonna be honest. I'll hit for a check.
All right. So before the billions, since we're talking about hitting it for a check, check out Before the Billions. He's a come up. He's been featured. I mean, he's been a guest on the TLA. Have you been a guest on the Lapeef Network?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Been a guest on Lapeef. Basically, he's everywhere where I've been trying to get to. So, he's been a guest
man,
on
it's
Lapeef.
easy, man. It's easy. Just click the link.
Yeah, he's been a guest on Lapeef. He's been a guest on TLA. Excellent content creator. A young man. What are you? An engineer? Systems engineer?
Yeah, I'm a data engineer.
A data engineer. So he's hella smart. He just doesn't wear glasses. He wears a suit in the stream. So he's a little more not as casual as we are out here on the West Coast. And thank you for coming up, sir. And we're gonna drop you down and we're gonna get to our next guest because we want to give everybody a chance. But great comments and great. Thank you for adding to the stream.
Thank you. See you guys next time.
Yes,
See you
sir.
next time.
Always welcome. Always welcome. So who was it Poppy or was it Marcus? Marcus, great value vet. How are you doing, sir?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
I'm doing cool. Marcus, you got that smooth voice. What's up, guys? How are you doing? You like Elvis if he was from Michoacan.
I wish I have that money.
What do you think about this Kim and Kanye thing? It's crazy, right? Do you think Kanye is a good father, or is he trying to simp his way back into them great value butt cheeks?
I talked about this on a different stream. I think I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, but I think the thing is I can't hate on a guy that wants to be there for his family, for his kids.
Absolutely.
However, there's a respectful pushback where I believe there's such a thing as duty as parents, but if you can co-parent healthy, that's also fine, as long as if you guys don't have to be living in the same house or be in a relationship at all. So I've seen family relatives go through that on the plus and the negative sides.
Yes, sir.
I've seen people in my profession go through it in the ringer, and just forget about the public eye. I'm just sticking to profession and personal. And the difference between what you guys said earlier is the way the media spins it and the way it looks like it feels like they have a lot of pressure to prove to themselves and have this so-called celebrity figure status to uphold, and I think that's kind of the issue. And the whole her hooking up with Pete Davidson, right? Because women have the control of sex, right? They have the access to sex. They control that.
Absolutely.
That was a bit of a snake move. Not a bit, a whole big snake move on Pete Davidson's part and kind of on Kim's part. Because she knew that they had a triangle relationship between Pete, Kanye, and Kim. The pictures, the videos, the vacations, partying it up. The feathers of a flock together.
Yes.
And like, come on, man. Like, at the same time, Kanye, she had a resume. She has a history resume of the sex tape, the Playboy, which her mother endorsed and pushed when she called Hugh Hefner.
She's been at the Thottery Barn, bro.
Yeah, the Thottery Barn. Not only that, she hooked up with athlete after athlete. And then on top of that, she hooked up with one of her bodyguards. Failed marriages.
I didn't know her bodyguard hit it because I used to be a bodyguard. I didn't know. That's
man. Well, you missed your chance. You missed your chance.
Yeah.
Listen, Whitney Houston.
My lady's right now watching. Like, what is wrong with this man?
No. And the last and one of the other things too is, I would have kept it a short relationship, if maybe not just a mutual casual, like, hey, there you go. That's I forget that receiver's name next to Reggie Bush.
I don't recognize him.
He was for the Cowboys. But anyway, Miles Austin. My bad.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Nick Lachey. I'm a huge football fan. That's why. But
the whole entire
right
Hollywood, man.
Yeah, and then so she and let's just say this. Let's say she doesn't have as big of a body count, but the illusion of her having the body count is what's going to get guys to think twice because of the history, right? Because once you have that sex tape, it's just like OnlyFans. It's out there, right? You're leaving a digital footprint and digital evidence, right? So there's that issue that people are going to have in the back of their mind. So I just think, it's kind of Kanye's fault, but at the same time, I'm not going to give away the blame from Kim's fault as well, and Pete Davidson for being messy. So there's blame all around.
So what do you think, what her actions, this whole relationship debacle, this why are you looking at me like that? What kind of message do you think they're showing to young girls, to young people getting into relationships? Like, how do you think that's going to affect them? And what are your thoughts on the message that they're sending to younger people?
That there can be that thinking that there's no consequences to certain actions, but real life will hit you hard. And for celebrities, it's different, because even celebrities, they may think the illusion that they're happy. There's a difference between having security, money security, and happiness and joy and peace. And I know a lot of times celebrities complaining and crying about the paparazzi don't leave us alone. The camera's always in our face. We got X, Y, and Z pressuring us to do things, an agenda being pushed. You got to be politically correct. Censorship, freedom of speech isn't free anymore. I don't know if it ever has been, but lately at least it's no freedom of speech. And look at it, Aladdin and Jasmine right here, wreaking havoc.
While this is a great time, let me read this comment from Amar Tuma. Big Amar. Amar is actually a close personal friend of mine.
I mean, we can get some conspiracy theories, but the fact that she's dressing up as Jasmine, and then what's his name? I forgot what his name was. The main character, Aladdin, of course, Aladdin.
Yeah.
What are you saying? But now it's like they have this Disney visage, this image, and they're attempting to be like role models. I don't know. It's just this weird. If you know anything about Disney, man, there's a lot of innuendos, and the programming is real, where you can make a lot of blue pill betas. I was a blue pill beta at one point too.
Beta. But let me read this from Amar. Kim K is Armenian, which is close to the Middle East. Y'all haven't dealt with Middle Eastern women. Amar, are you saying they're demons, Amar? If you're listening, let me know if Middle Eastern women are demons. I know you're Palestinian. I know that because every rash guard you had in jiu-jitsu had Palestine on it, and you're hairy, and you jump on me, and, you jump on me with all that hair when we were grappling, and I'm still hurt. Oh, we got a count. We got some smoke from the ladies. Let's read this. I know it's a lady. DM right here. DM. What's the difference between a man's body count and a woman's? How does a woman's value decrease but not a man's? It's frustrating to hear all of this woman bashing here. Okay, DM, let me tell you. All right, so
wait, after you do this, I want to hear Marcus' thoughts, but then I also want to hear Papi Blanca's thoughts on this.
So here's the deal, right? So first of all, I've never said that a man's body count does not diminish him. I've never said that this whole stream. A matter of fact, if you want to know what I think that running the risk of getting a sexual disease and spreading your seed all over the world, especially if you have a bunch of kids, is very, very, very dangerous, and it decreases your value as a man if you have a bunch of kids because you're paying child support all over the place. And men are mostly in this country valued for their money. So yes, there is an ultimate devaluation. Now, if you can erase not having a bunch of kids and you can get around, but you're making sex tapes and you're seen publicly with women over women, you're still going to look bad upon, because honestly, if you have a sex tape, your dad or your mom's not going to want you to marry this guy. Now, so what we've been talking about in this context about body count, what we've been talking about is not the fact that she's been with a bunch of dudes publicly, but the fact that she made a sex tape, and that if somebody gets with somebody with a sex tape and they happen, that men in general don't want that to be there, because what men want to happen. We made a stream about this. We made a video about this. We called it D-discipline. And we said most of the times men need to have D-discipline to be successful. And the D is for eggplant, to be successful. So we have to say, honestly, that we're not saying that men's body count don't matter. What we're saying is that for a man to be successful in this world, he better not be having a bunch of kids, because that will decrease his value, because men in this country are mostly looked upon as what they can provide. Yeah. Now,
can you read Barry's comment for a second? Like, I can't believe he even knows this. This is
Barry,
actually kind of like, I didn't even know about this.
DM, this is from Barry Holyoke. He says, a key that opens any lock is a master key. A lock that any key will open is a bad lock. Hey, that's not me. That's the comments.
Yo,
all right.
So feminism has entered the chat. All right, just letting you guys know.
But look, but I'm not going to bash a woman for having a proper question or being or wondering that, because a lot of times women want to say, like, well, why can't men do all of this and why can't women do it, right? Besides the fact that, you know, people ask me, do you believe in equality? And 90% of the time, things aren't equal. For instance, I could ask, why does a woman 90% of the time get the kids in a divorce? And why isn't it just 50-50? You know, things aren't equal.
That's the point I try to make too.
So what do you have to say? Let's reply to DM, and, you know, let's be factual. Let's not be
after Marcus says something and Papi Blanca says something, I'm going to say something, because, you know, your boy here is a woman's advocate.
Yeah.
So
I get you.
I get you.
I get you.
All right, go ahead.
Self-made right now is unsubbing.
I know. He's like, I knew something was wrong with that kid. He's listening to J-pop and K-pop.
So why is his hair cut like that? I'm out. All right. Go on.
Here's the thing, though. So my issue, it isn't that a girl is gonna be on OnlyFans or she's gonna be a stripper or nothing. It's the fact that after certain choices, there are consequences, right?
Yeah.
It's not, you know, listen, I understand if you got a nice body, you want to make your money, Right, but isn't there a saying I've heard, with fast money comes slow problems? Isn't that like a saying?
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is my issue isn't that women can't handle their standards, but why is it that when men try to say something or say, "Hey, this is my foot, this is my boundary, this is my line. I don't want to how do you say, what's the word? I don't want to somehow question my boundary or line or just somehow lower it, for that, just because you want to shame me for it as a man." Like, and I'm speaking in general for men because I think I'm hearing this issue. I've been hearing it a lot lately where women say, "Accept me for who I am, errors and all." It's not like I'm saying no. It's not the error I'm questioning you. It's the fact that it's my standard. It's my line. It's my boundary.
Interesting. So you're not exactly saying that. You're saying that that's your standard and that's what you want. But honestly, also, you can also say that what if she just, I'm playing devil's advocate, not woman's advocate like Scott over here, but devil's advocate. If a woman says, look, I know for a fact that you've been with the whole neighborhood. And I don't want to get with you. That's acceptable too, correct? Because we don't have a choice. If a woman doesn't want to get with us, they don't get with us. Yeah.
I'm not crying about it. I'm like, fine, there's more fish in the sea.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Poppy Blanco, welcome to the stream.
I want to hear this.
Limited monetization.
Hold on.
Limited monetization.
Poppy, I just want you to know, we are prepared to be limitedly monetized, but we like not to be. Because we know you a savage. All right. First of all, I want you to answer DM's question.
Well, which one you want me to answer first?
Let's go back to the question because it was actually a good question. There's a lady in the stream, and she had a legitimate question, and we have to be. I'm respectful of legitimate questions. So she said, "What's the difference between a man's body count and a woman's? How does a woman's value decrease but not a man's? It's frustrating to hear all this woman bashing here." So apparently, I was woman bashing. I thought I was being even, but I may be myopic. So go on, Poppy.
I don't. It's funny. Right? I find it real funny when women always complain. They want to match up whatever the men do sexually. They never want to. Question like this never come out. When like for example, like Steve Jobs created the iPhone. I never heard a woman like, "What a woman can create an iPhone, or why a woman can create a Tesla." But anytime there is some sexual stuff, they want to match up with a man. Have you noticed the pattern? It's never nothing good. It's always for the bad thing. They talk about, "Oh my God, Jack guys is bashing women." You just stating the facts that these women have been with half of Hollywood. It's not a secret. It's not a damn. Hell, the girl is on Pornhub.com, yo. Like, it doesn't get better than that, fam. Like,
guilty of searching it.
And you don't think that I believe on shaming people, bro. Some people should be shamed, bro. And that's the problem with society today. People is too free out here doing wild things, yo.
Interesting.
We're going that thought a little bit more.
It's just
that people
like,
should be shamed.
Yes, because back in the day, like, I mean, I know all at all, but I learned from my idols are my grandparents. They older than that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I go from their belief system, and they tell me, and even my uncles, it would be my father's brothers and sisters. They tell me, like, back in the day, a woman's supposed to be with one man. You see what I'm saying? And the man's supposed to be technically with one woman too, but the man got more leeway. You see what I'm saying? We're not equal, bro. Stop with all this equality stuff. We're not equal at all. If we are so equal, why I don't see none of these feminists signing up to go to Ukraine right now? I don't see them doing marching. I'm like, oh, we want to be fighting with the man right next to him. I haven't seen none of that. Are they? Maybe I missed it, but I haven't seen no feminist group demanding to go fight in Ukraine.
To be fair, there were girls in Ukraine posting on TikTok with the gun.
God.
No, I want all these feminists that, since we are so equal, to demand to the government that they want to go fight side by side with the men. I haven't seen one yet. But they turn around and say stuff like this, like, "Oh, why you body shame me? Why you slut shaming Kim? Because she's supposed to be shamed, yo." No, human beings. I mean, I don't shame them. I actually enjoy a freaky girl like that because I know she's a skillful. I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk myself out
Oh
of it.
goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
It
You
doesn't
got bodies on you, baby. Hey, baby, it's so good. But just know it's gonna be a one-time thing, a weekend thing. You know.
Well, so here's something that I really want to point out, and this is not to disparage anybody, but if people have their standards, very rarely when men go to get married, and this is just what men say in general, when they go to get married, they don't want to have a woman with a high body count. Now, why? Because men want. It's very hard for men to have a guarantee, especially in this day and age, that the woman actually wants them from them. Now, that's just what men say, right? Do I want a woman with a high body count? No. Right. But I also have understandings that, like, at my age, I'm not looking for a virgin, you know? So it's different. I think that only thing that I ever caution women, I say, do your thing, be as free as you want, have fun. But recognize that when you're done having fun, your time to really catch the guy that you want may have passed, and you may have walked by him while you were having a great time because he wasn't the guy you thought you wanted at the time, but he might have been the guy you need. And that's just wisdom. That's just knowing life. Because guess what? When I was young, there was a lot of ladies who maybe were interested in me, and I was like, I don't want to be involved with nobody right now, and it wasn't the right time for me. Luckily, I'm in a committed relationship. That's why I try to look at both sides of what women are saying. Let me read this comment by Barry Holyoke right quick. Feminism was right when they said men are pigs. Feminism was wrong when the answer was for women to be pigs as well. Man, that's deep. That's deep. Give a shout out to Barry Holyoke, man. Give a shout out to Barry Holyoke.
I know what he's gonna say.
You know, that's deep. So Poppy, I know I didn't ask you the question yet, but I want to give Marcus right quick some last thoughts before we drop him down, and then we want to get your thought on the whole thing. I know we asked a question in here, but I really want to interact. So Marcus, you have any last thoughts about anything before we drop you down?
No, man. I want to see Davidson versus West in 2022 boxing pay-per-view. Get your tickets, $10. I want to see a little boxing match.
$10.
Hash it out.
No.
15.
Man. Come on. Listen.
15.
All right, so let me promote this correctly. Listen, I can tell you're not a manager, Marcus. So let me say this: $175. West versus Davis. We're gonna do boxing rules with MMA gloves so they can get cut up a little. Elbows are legal. Okay, so elbows and knees are legal, but no kicks. No kicks. And you only get 2 takedowns per round for 3-minute round. That's what we're going to do. Why am I saying that? Because I want to give somebody an ample chance to get jacked up.
Right, ground and pound. So,
ground and pound.
So yeah, I mean, as far as the whole Kanye thing goes, I don't really have much to say because I think you guys broke it down great. BTB before the billions, he said great as well.
Yeah.
You guys did too, and then the person before Pro, and I'm pretty sure Poppy and Primo are gonna hit it on the bell as well as soon as I leave the chat.
You know, I want to give a shout out to just the great panel we've had so far, and people being very grounded and having really, everybody who's come up has had some really substantial things to say, and you know, and the people in the chat reading the comments. I want to stop and read some of the comments before we go to Poppy, but Marcus, thank you very much, sir. Do you have a YouTube channel? I think you told me you don't have a YouTube channel, but you're going to be guesting on other people's streams, correct?
Yeah. So I'll be on OG Shadow Officials channel. I'll also be streaming with Disturbed Reality, and then I'll also be working with Jay Takashi on his channel. I know I'm a moderator on Jay's as well, and on Gray Pills. Primo has yet to promote me, but that's okay. I'll take the pay cut. I don't care. And then you know, just much love to you guys. You know, support everyone. Primal Studies, support Poppy Blanco TV, support you guys. THPP Network. Yeah. So it's about like a lot of stuff that happens in like you know, narco terrorism, not just in Mexico, but like other places as well. He's a British guy. The videos you can't really see on his channel, but he talks about it. He kind of breaks it down, and then he also, you know, in more depth to the politics as well. and
Oh,
certain
excellent,
things.
excellent. How interesting. So definitely, next time you go on there, come on the stream and talk about it. We can even talk about it a little. I mean, I'm into cool stuff, right?
Right.
Oh,
So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I send the love to you guys and support as well. And
yeah,
I know I gotta
man.
go, but I appreciate you guys letting me up here.
Respect,
thank you.
respect.
Anytime, Marcus. Anytime.
Yeah.
You've always have some reasonable thoughts, and I like the way you answered, and especially consider. Okay, so being the woman's advocate time, it's not gonna really is like if you're not comfortable being with a woman. Can you let me get my thought out?
His face.
Just in case, we need to get more women in this chat right here. We got trying to get like some polarizing discussions happening. All right. So what I'm saying is, if I can zoom in on your face right now. So if you're not comfortable, if guys are not comfortable with a woman's body count, then you shouldn't be with her, right? So
or just don't ask. Don't ask.
But don't ask. And a woman should find someone that's compatible for her and is comfortable with her having a high body count. So it doesn't make any sense to force any guy to accept your own past history of you being on the carousel.
That's actually
like it's just being compatible with people's personalities, their expectations, and what.
Wait a minute, but I like going on theme park rides though. It's not fair. No, I'm playing. Anyways, take care, guys. I appreciate it. Much love.
Shout out. And I got to give a shout out to the man behind the scenes. I'm gonna call him the Shadow Ranger.
Wait, we got to do the super chats first.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, okay.
AKA self-made. What does he say? Thank you for the $20 super chat. We don't have any sound effects, but we'll be getting it immediately because I feel so weird. Also, at the end of the day, it's the manosphere. You're free to talk, but it's woman bashing when a man isn't worshiping and she is just projecting that she wants all of the same worth as a clean hold the truth.
A clean, I think he's
as
using
a clean
code word.
As a clean hold the truth. I think it means like be girl.
No, yeah.
Okay, interesting. There's another one here. There's a.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that there is certain things that when men have standards, women kind of get mad at us because women are very used to us just accepting women for whatever. And if we say, hey, you know what, that's not cool with me. But at the end of the day, I could say that, like, if you're not cool with something someone does after an honest conversation, you should just walk away. And I think that she should walk away, Stop pandering, Scott. Oh, self-made hits you.
Was it pander maxing? Does that work?
Is that pander maxing?
Or is that too close with panty maxing? I mean, that could be pretty bad.
He's pander maxing because he's trying to panty max.
Trying to pander max and panty max. I like that.
So let's go with the other super chat.
Again, by self-made.
My G plus paternity. We ain't to make those kids are. We ain't to make those kids are ours. So basically, I think what he's saying is that we want to understand because of paternity that the kids are our kids. Okay, so excellent. So Poppy Blanco, pander maxing. God, I love you guys. Poppy Blanco TV. First of all, two things, Poppy Blanco. I'm gonna say this: you got the coolest accent on YouTube.
Hey, so her response is, "It's
fair to have standards." Yeah, DM, it's her.
Okay.
It's fair to have standards. It works both ways. Absolutely.
And see, that's
no. But here's the truth. Because I don't expect a woman to accept me if they don't like the way I look. I think that your looks are the floor that gets you in the door. If a woman doesn't like the way you look, very rarely have I ever heard a woman say, I really thought he was Igor Slandor, but now after he talked to me, pennies down. I don't think it works like that, right? But I think that also your personality is what keeps you there. So yes, it's very fair for a woman to have a standard. A matter of fact, to me, and I'm just going to say to everyone out there, whether you think it's crazy, it's okay for a woman to say to me that, hey, for the man that I'm going to settle down with, he needs to look this way, he needs to make this much money, and he needs to take care of me this way. And this is the partnership I want. That's fine with me. But you know what else is fine with me? My ability to say, okay, if you want that from me, you have to do this. So absolutely, I 100% agree with that, DM. It's fair to have standards. It works both ways. Yes, it does. Okay. Poppy, the coolest voice on the manosphere. The man with the barbershop talk. I'm telling you, you have the hot takes. I know you talked a little about it, but I just want to see if you have anything else to say about this situation with Kim, Skeet, Davidson, and Kanye.
I mean, Kanye, I honestly don't like Kanye. that guy, he a retard. Homeboy, but he's right when it comes to the kid being on TikTok and stuff like that, man. Like, no little kid should be on social media at all. I think that should be a law, actually. No kid shouldn't be in social media until they're like at least 12, 13 at least. You feel what I'm saying?
Wow. I you know what I do? I have to say that social media wasn't around when I was young. And honestly, I didn't see social media until I was an adult. And it was MySpace. And so I don't know how I could have handled that instant dopamine rush of people wanting to talk to me that I didn't know and an overinflated feeling of importance as a 12-year-old. I don't know how I would have handled that. I say a lot of things that's very addictive that I'm glad I didn't have when I was young. Because I'm telling you, I smoked cigarettes for like 11 years and I thought I was going to smoke for like 3 weeks. So, and the cocaine, I just got through with it. I mean, I'm just telling you, no. Now my family's watching, it's like, oh, my baby. But I'm just saying, like, honestly, and we don't do cocaine now, only on the weekends. But honestly, am I blowing it? Yeah. So no, honestly, what I'm saying is that I understand what he's saying. I don't want my kids on TikTok, but I was watching the TLA stream and I was all for it. I was like, yeah, don't put your kids on TikTok. Then somebody showed clips of how his kids was on TikTok before he got separated. And I was like, ooh, okay. See, you can't have it both ways though. So I agree with him, and I agree that your kids shouldn't be on social media. It just bothers me that when your kids, when it doesn't mean that much to you. See what I mean? Yeah. But you have a child, correct?
Yes.
And I don't want to get too close, but if your kid like 12 or 13 or something, I don't know how old you are. You look like you're 12, but you could be 45. Black don't crack.
I know where they're for. I'm in my 30s right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm in my prime, baby. I'm in my prime right now. Don't put me in the 40 category yet.
Yes.
So, but look, I got my kids, man, and my kids, they're not allowed to be on social media like that. The most they're gonna do is play games on the little tablet. It's something that I can control, and that's gonna be a rule. They don't want to have a phone either until they're like 11 or 12 too, something like that.
Excellent.
The problem is, people is missing the point. He gets Kanye. I mean, he's right about like he want to parent his kid, but then again, no judge is gonna give him custody with all that crazy stuff that he be doing publicly. He might as well forget about that, because all homegirl have to do is just put a bunch of videos together and give it to the judge. Starting like back in 2000 and when he did that crazy interview when it was it like Fox when he turned around and said, "Oh, George Bush don't like black people," and after that he started just saying wild things every week, right? And most likely Kim Kardashian want to get a lawyer and be like, "Yo, this guy's unstable. He on medication. He might go off any day. I don't want my kids with him."
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's already hard enough for a man for a regular guy to get custody. I highly doubt a guy that is on medication will get custody like that.
Yeah, and well, let me tell you something. The reason why I was allowed to see my dad as much as I did when I was young is because my mom wanted me to. So they had she had physical custody, but I was supposed to go on the weekends and whenever he wanted, and I spent entire summers with him too. So that was something too. Like, I think that I was in a very blessed position because I literally spent entire summers, and he would literally put me on an airplane. He had summer custody of me. He would send me to Texas to be with my family in Texas, and that's why I know all of my family in Texas. So like when I go to Texas, I literally just land, and I can stay at people's house and stuff, and me and the wife can go there, and it's no problem. So I understand that, but understand how rare that was, because even back in the 80s, that was rare. You know what I mean? And so I know it got rarer. So like a man getting custody, man, I ain't gonna lie, she has to be on drugs and like horrible mother. She has to do all types of horrible things. Poppy, you have any final words that we can have? First of all, before I even say that, everybody please sub to my man Poppy Blanco YouTube channel. Poppy Blanco has the hottest takes, and I mean his channel is new and he's just getting started. You want to be there to watch the development. When the TIP Network started, I mean, you think this is struggle streaming. We will struggle filming, okay? We would struggle filming. Like, we'd be filming, and I swear,
the sound was bad. Lights.
A dog was barking in the background. Lights, sound effects, and we learned from the bottom up. I look forward to watching your development and personally assisting you any way I can. And you know I mean it. You know I'm not, there's no cap on me. Just this cap, but it's a nice cap. And so any last words and plug your channel, please.
Well, my channel is Papi Blanco TV. I'm like my man said, I just getting started, so just subscribe and enjoy the ride, man. Because it's gonna be a fun ride, man. And I hope y'all supporting my people. Everybody that come through here, I hope you're supporting my man Primal. I hope you're supporting my man Grover and Scott. Please share all their content on all your social media, please. Help us blow up. Help us go somewhere, man. And my last stop on this, man, is Kanye, you knew what you were signing up for, man. You knew. I don't feel sorry for this guy at all, man. Now you all on social media. Yo, it's kind of crazy, man, that a man that is worth, how much money this man is worth? About $6 billion, something like that. That's what he said. He said he's the richest black guy in America.
Yeah. He could be.
It's kind of sad that for you to see the richest black guy in America on social media doing this, bro. It's sad, man. Because, like, if that's happening to him, it ain't hope for us, man. Jesus Christ. Like, you have to beg to see your own kids. But people's missing the point. It's not about the kids, bro. He just using that for like as an excuse. He gets mad that that weird looking guy, Pete Davidson, is on top of his wife right now. That's all it's all about, bro. It's not about the kids.
Okay. All right, well, Poppy, thank you for coming up, man. We will have you up anytime you want to come. We look forward to the development of that page, right? Sir. Okay, Poppy and his Outback Steakhouse Max in life. Respect the vital message. I was on the stream. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, everybody. Hey, whoa, am I kind of loud? Sorry.
Yeah, you just sitting there. Great value Tate. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good. Coming in okay? Sorry, it came in real loud for a second.
Let us catch up on these messages really quick.
Do your thing.
Give me some time. So we got hold the truth hostage. Kanye is running a $16 billion company. He isn't insane. It's funny how quickly we'll demonize another black person when they are successful, yet would not say the same if he was white and wealthy. Many issues. Interesting because we do have folks of different races. And in my community, I could say that when they show eccentric behavior, we say they're eccentric, but Kanye, we just want to call him crazy. Maybe it's a comfort. Let's go up a little higher and let's just drop them, read them down. So let's say we go Barry. Well, highly creative people are always a little off. Just because he is crazy doesn't mean he is not telling the truth. Also, two things could be straight. He can have a chemical imbalance, but be very honest. Very honest. Let's see. Do we have anything? We got DM here. A man is more valuable for having money. I don't think it's the attraction that women chasing rich men are looking for, Barry.
Because Barry said this.
Because Barry said a man is more attractive to a woman if he has money. Look, so I see this little thing going back and forth. A man is more attractive to a woman if he has money because he can offer security. You know, back in the day, security was offered by the big strong guy because the heathens were coming around the corner to bop you in the head and drag you off. Now that's replaced by having some dough, in my opinion. Of course, I could be wrong. Let's see. What do we have?
Let's go back. I just wanted to.
Yeah, Poppy is Outback Steak Maxi. We had that before, and then we have Outback Steak Maxi. What did the Riddler say?
Wait. Read his out.
Outback Steak Maxi.
All right. Where's Poppy?
It's that maxing life, man. We're just maxing everything.
Yeah.
Where's Poppy? Oh, he had a funny comeback. I mean, it wasn't really a comeback, but he was like.
But Poppy is just funny in general. Let's.
He is. That man.
All right, I disagree. As openly,
actually, here.
Yes, he speaks a lot of truth. I find a message. I'm hitting Olive Garden now.
That's
You're getting all the breadsticks, all the breadsticks.
Yeah. Hey, your salad is fire. I'm not gonna lie. Olive Garden, all you can eat salad.
The dressing, that salad dressing.
Yeah, it's a little
I haven't had
vinegary.
that in a minute, but now, Poppy, you made me hungry. You should be pitching for Outback and.
That's the next great. That's me and the wife's next great value date night. Dude. We're going to Outback. No, we're going to Olive Garden. Actually, we might go to Olive Garden this weekend.
That tour of Italy, man, that's where it's at. I tell you what.
Yeah, dude, I had to work out all week to do that. Let's see. Do we have anything else we need to read?
Yeah, there was a comment, but I missed it.
Okay, well let's see. Welcome, Primal Studies. Tell us about your channel first and what you do.
Yeah, so I just talk a little bit about just a lot of everything, actually. I kind of try to cover a whole bunch of different topics, but basically centered around understanding people better and improving yourself in some way. I've experienced a lot of things throughout my life. I've been a lot of places. I've done a lot of things, and I got a little bit of gray in my beard. Maybe not quite as much as Grover, but I'm trying to catch up to him. So I might have learned a thing or two and made a mistake or two along the way that have taught me things. So I try to just share that knowledge and then have people come up and talk about it and have good discussions. So that's kind of what my take on life and on the show, on the YouTube life is.
Excellent on these YouTube streets. How old is your channel?
Oh, just fairly new. I created it back. It's probably I've probably been doing it about 6 months now, give or take.
Yes. See, this is not as light as the conversation you were having last night. So I'm only drinking hard seltzers, but
my liver was a little upset at me this morning when I woke up. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it looked like you were taking body shots from Tyson.
Duke owes me one after that. I felt like you ever jump on a grenade for a friend? Have you ever been in that situation? You ever been a good wingman? Yeah.
I mean, I've been a good wingman, but if there was a grenade, I would kick Scott's ass off.
I feel like I kind of jumped on the claymore for Duke a little bit there, but that's okay.
I'm gonna have to go to the funeral and cry. All right, hold on, DM. Always a pleasure to watch your videos and stream. Different points of view are vital to open, productive conversation. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, lady. That is an excellent comment, and thank you. You are always welcome here. We will read it out if you ever want to come up. We'll come up and we'll treat you with respect. Now, listen. Now, we don't pander. Even the woman's advocate here, we're gonna call you out if we don't believe you. We will disagree in a way that is grounded. I'm not here to just flame anybody.
You know what? One of my goals is actually get more women up here so we can have like Self-Made, The Vital Message, like Primal Studies, have discussions with women. That's kind of like my goal, because I think it'd make more for a unique and fun discussion, and also it can be a little heated, kind of maximize on that monetization. So
get that money right. And that was what brought me, that's what really made me click on the link to come in, was I saw DM's question, and I feel like it was a question that was coming from a legitimate place. And I have kind of a strong take on that question, right?
So you want us to go back to the question so you can answer it? What was the question?
It was why is it okay why is it cool for men to sling it out there, but women get kind of called to the carpet when they're out there slinging it out there.
Slinging it out there.
So I think, and sometimes we don't. I feel like we dance around this a lot and don't necessarily get right into it. But biologically, men and women are kind of different. Like, let's just keep it 100. And the male reproductive strategy is in the exact opposition to the female reproductive strategy, right? So for men, sex is really cheap. There's a lot of sperm. Like, we make sperm every day. We'll make a ton of it, and we'll make it until the day we die. For women, you only have so many eggs, and you only usually get one a month at a time. And they're valuable. That's something that you don't have. That's not an unlimited resource. Mm-hmm. So men can go out and quote unquote spread their seed, and that's the strategy. They want to shoot as many shots as they can. Whereas a woman, sex and reproduction is actually very costly, because they puts them in a more vulnerable state, and it's a health risk. And then they have the burden of caring for that child afterward. So sex for women is very expensive in terms of what they have to invest into it. So that's why a woman's best mating strategy is to find the highest quality partner, which would mean you want to find the one high quality man. Whereas a man's dating strategy, biologically speaking, is to go out and spread his seed as much as possible. Hot take, but go for it. Yeah.
No, it's not a hot take. It's
or unpopular opinion maybe with some groups, but yeah.
It's absolutely, I'm gonna tell you this, It's absolutely, we're being honest, right? And it is biology. And I think the hardest thing that we have to understand is that in a time of equality, we forget that we have totally different purposes on this earth. And it hurts people when I tell them this, because I always try to tell them, like, listen, if you getting pregnant puts you out for 9 months, minimal, if it could cost you your life, and you're going to need someone to look out for you for that time, and when you recover, you have to make sure that that person's an absolutely great person. Now, here's the problem. The only problem I have when women talk about body count, and it doesn't matter. You know what? To a certain extent, if you're not making children in this new modern world, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But what does matter to me is when you got 6 kids by 5 different dudes and you're going to walk around and say men ain't nothing. That's a problem I have. I'm not going to tell a woman, hey, don't go do your thing. But I tell you that if you're making children, it's just a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
Scott,
yeah,
Scott,
no, that's big facts. And
Scott's a woman's advocate.
Did I trigger Scott? Was that
he's triggered and he ran away. He does not.
Trigger vaccine.
He had to charge something. And so when I say that, I don't mean to say that women can't have their fun. Because look, I understand it's the modern world. And I also understand that like women don't have to tell you their body count.
No, and nor do you want to ask, because what is that going to really get you?
But I can tell you this 100%. It's 100%. And I don't care if you like it or not. If you're out here making kids with multiple dudes and it's the same dudes making kids and you're chasing those same guys, man, all of y'all are doing the same thing over and over again. Don't get mad at dudes who are trying to be normal. Mm-hmm. And that's all I say about that. So
what do you mean dudes trying to be normal?
Dudes trying to be normal, like, hey, I have a child. I have a child. I'm gonna we gotta put up the screen. I have a child. I'm going to have a child. I want to take care of my child, and I don't want to have like hella children by hella different women. That's the normal guy. Mm-hmm. That's the normal guy that we do. That's what normal men did back in my days. Hey, Woody, how you doing, sir?
Hello, Woody.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure it's me. Just let you guys know.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I appreciate the gentlemen who come up with the avatar by doing stuff like that. Let's read Hold the Truth Hostage's message there, because I can't see it. A man can have as much sex as he wants, and it doesn't affect his body or mind if he avoids STDs. And women have to offer sex to get it. From tight to loose, and it displays disloyalty and no stability. Interesting take. Do you have an opinion on that, Primal?
Yeah. I'll put it this way. I'm a man that's had a lot of experience in that realm, I guess, if you will. And I don't feel like it's had a negative impact on my ability to, what is it they like to throw out there? Your pair bonding ability becomes diminished. I don't really subscribe to that. I don't really feel that way. I feel like I could make a connection with somebody if I chose to. It's not a matter of how many people I've slept with before. And I think that, like I said before, I think sex is very costly for women. So they need to choose their partners wisely, because the implications from the sex could drastically impact them. Whereas a man can kind of like, he can have sex with a woman, and even if they get pregnant, like for him, his body, the toll it's going to take, there is no toll on his body, right? So he'll have the long-term financial implications and the long-term time implications, but from his actual health and physicality, it's not really going to change him. For a woman, your body drastically changes when you have children. And that's the risk. Anytime you have sex, there's a risk of you could get pregnant. So,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. The thing is, there's so many reasons why women just don't have to get pregnant.
That's in America. In America today, you can totally avoid that should you choose. It's
not a man's prerogative, even if she's pregnant, if the baby comes or not. Mm-hmm. So, like I always say, we have very little say in babies getting here. So like I said, since I have very little say, I deserve a say in who I make a baby with.
And here's I want to use that kind of as a short segue to go into a comment I heard earlier. Somebody said about ensuring paternity.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a man and you are with a woman who has a history of having lots of partners, then in the back of your mind, you might doubt the paternity of your children. So here's my other hot take. I think paternity tests should be mandatory for all births in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, why not? I mean, I've always thought that. We did a reaction to a paternity court where, you know, it was one of the funniest things I've ever been a part of in my life. And, you know, it was a true reaction where Scott didn't know that the baby came out with this incredibly African-American gentleman, straight white, with blonde hair and I think green eyes.
Yeah.
And that spot, Scott's face right there was actually the face when he first seen it. When he first seen the baby.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me when his reaction. But, like, I know it
was so blatantly not his.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's sometimes, you know, the phenotypic expression where it could be albino children and genetics back in his. No, there's.
No, it's like it's like if I had a baby that came out looking like you, Primal. Now, look. I ain't saying it's impossible. I'm just saying I want a damn DNA test. But Primal, any last thoughts on this or anything that we talked about tonight with Kanye and Kim?
I appreciate Scott. I appreciate you, Grover. Shout out to the chat. The chat, as always, is undefeated. Appreciate all the panelists coming up here. If you want to see some more of my takes, please come out, check out Primal Studies on YouTube. Check it out on Instagram. See if you vibe with me, see if you like it, and you want to be part of the community. I welcome any and all. So come hang out. Appreciate you guys. Awesome.
And I want to give a shout out to A Story to Tell, excellent content creator. Visual storytelling at its finest. Has one of those great voices. Also, shout out to you, Primal. Always, you are welcome here. This is the TIP Network. Rocks with you. You have a home. You come up each time. You talk to us. Give us your take. I want to really have it so, like, especially the core guys come up as much as possible, regardless of what your philosophy is. I am philosophically agnostic, meaning that I have what I believe in, but if somebody gives me empirical evidence, I can change.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, Scott, Grover, appreciate you guys.
Thank you, sir. We're going to drop you on.
Thank you for your thoughts, and have a good rest of your night.
Yes, thank you. Have a great night. So we are going to drop you down, and we are going to welcome Mr. Woody Johnson.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, thank you so much for hanging in there with us.
Sorry we couldn't get you on earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem.
Quite the speaker here.
Yeah, I'm over here I'm practicing my best TLA. I'm long stroking, and I'm sitting here talking as much as I can. You know, I'm really passionate about this issue. I think I'm passionate about the issue. You know the protein. We're gonna do the Caduceus method on this when we bring up the next person. I'm very passionate about this issue because, you know, like I said before, my dad and my mom really, when they divorced, they worked it out. They worked it out in a way that I thought was common. Then other people was like, "Damn, your parents are." Other divorced people used to come and tell me how amazing my mom and my dad was. You know, and I know it may sound crazy. I know it may sound crazy when someone says that. Here's something that's even crazier. My dad adopted my two sisters from my mom's first wedding, and they loved and my mom, he had access, he get to see them, visitation, everything until the day he died. And so look, I guess you don't realize what a good woman your mom is until you get older, you know. But when I see this situation with Kanye and Kim, and my question is he trying to be a good father, or is he simping to get back into her good graces? And I welcome your take on this.
So we really don't know. The only difference is, you know, that even if you're a billionaire or if you're just a, you know, average working 9 to 5 or a tradesman, you know, or whoever you could be, you know, that most men are obviously held to the laws of the land, and females don't have to you know, face or don't get any I guess feedback, you know, because of their actions. Right now, Kanye, you know, he just has a limited say. I don't know what's their custody issue, but I doubt that if he or she could, you know, I'm assuming she's going to determine who's going to have full custody or not, or if it's going to be half and half, right? So there's for females a lot of times it's actually mostly it's no consequences, and this is we live in a society, we are in a way where it's detrimental for a society to go by the gynocentric system, right? Because if you look at female choice, they're not lining up outside of physics or nuclear scientist majors, right? They're not standing outside waiting outside for engineers that are graduating. They're usually going by their natural instincts of somebody who's taller, bigger, stronger, right? So it is a detriment to the society that the picking and choosing as of now it's only dependent on looks, so like I said, it's a downfall of a society just because the best of the traits of a man are not chosen, right? And we understand, guys, a lot of guys are having hard time these days, despite like primal studies brought up that it's a bigger cost for a female to pay, but there's more versions and male versions in our society than there are females. And for females, it's not hard at all. I would say 99% of females, they can get sex anytime they want. It's obviously you got to work and the time and whatever to have your massa, and tell you what to do, and maybe you might have a family one day, but you'll still be held by the laws in case she decides to leave, and you're the one who's going to be paying for the price. So that's how I see it. I see it as a gynocentric system.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I have to say that the system itself, when you say gynocentric, you have to understand that it favors women. And when I say this, I just look at it from a business point of view. Anything with the law, with family court, it's just proven it favors women. It also proved that women initiate divorce more than men. The law favors women, and the criminal law favors women more as far as this and that.
So why do you think it turned into a gynocentric system?
I mean, what do you think, Grover? I have a theory on this, and maybe you guys can say it. What do you guys think?
I would actually like to hear your take on it first. I mean, I have a total theory, but I'd love to hear your take on it first.
Okay, so I think it's the soft spot, the softness that we have towards females. And in the end, these laws that are established, it's only been, 50, 70 years where female started working and having a higher stake in the market and society after I think it was 1990s or 1920s, where females got the right to vote. We had prohibition, I mean, a lot of weird stuff happened at that time too, but they wouldn't be drafted if there was a war coming, such as right now in Ukraine, right? It's if you're a male between 18 and 60, you're not allowed to leave, and country, the females and kids just flood the country, right, without any consequences. But again, everybody has the right to vote, and it's a democracy, right? Everybody participates in it and all. If it was up to me, it would be a net taxpayer system, right? Because if you have any weight, if you have any investment in the system, if you have the responsibility, then you should be the one allowed to vote, because that's what's going to determine which way your country goes. It's a bigger system. I don't want to dive into it, but I would say I would answer that because I know I kind of drifted a little far away, but I would say that.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So what I think that happened is that The Great Society by Lyndon Johnson actually introduced welfare into the home, right? When you introduce welfare into the family homes, in my opinion, and I'm going to speak mostly from minority households and what I was told and what I experienced, that it relieved the extreme pressure of minority families or families in general to keep the nuclear family together. Why did it relieve extreme pressure, and how did it do this? Because it added a financial incentive for someone not to have a nuclear family together. What does that mean? Financial incentive. It means that yes, you can have this money, but the man couldn't be there. So when people had kids out of wedlock, which I know we don't want to believe it happened, but the reason why it didn't happen so much back in the day is because that having kids out of wedlock was a financial hindrance to the woman. And so a lot of folks would say like, hey, you know, you got pregnant. We call it shotgun weddings. Let's go get married before the kid gets here. Okay. That doesn't happen now because now there's an ability for a woman to get money, i.e. welfare and things of that nature. Right. Now, I don't think that it was on purpose. Maybe it was on purpose, but this unwittingly gave an option that, look, I had a baby with you. I don't really rock with you like that. And I don't have to make it work now. So that's what happened. So that's what happens. That led to more separations. Now, what happens when there's more separations? More separations, you have women who are still making, on average, less money than men. It is not an income equality. It's that some of the jobs that they have maybe don't maybe don't pay as much. And if you're taking care of kids, you're not going to work as much overtime. As a young man, the thing how I made my money was working overtime. I made so much money working overtime. That's how I lived. A matter of fact, I know people who they would tell me, man, any overtime, give it to me because this is how I make ends meet. I was there before.
Right.
Women aren't able to do that if they have kids at home. So what did the government do? The government said, okay, we will give you financial assistance. Women and infant children, WIC, because a woman can't work after she has a baby. You know, that's one of the things. So you're replacing the man's resources with government subsidies. And that ultimately led to more divorce. Now you have divorces, and now you have something called no-fault divorce that was introduced in the late 60s.
Take a breath, please. Because we need a shout out to Mr. O is Just Living. He sent us a couple comments before he sent us a super chat to really get our attention because, you know, I guess we're dirty capitalists over here.
Yeah. Mr. O.
But
Mr.
he is
O.
actually just finished the stream, stopped by to see this live, and started following us a few months ago. So thank you for
Mr.
following us.
Respect
We
for
rock
following
you.
us.
The Tip Network rocks with you.
The Tip Network rocks with you, Scott. If we could please find his channel and drop the
And then he is also saying salute to the panel, saluting to the chat.
Yes.
And it seems like there's a lot of love in there between Poppy Blanco TV and Mr. O. So there's a lot of respect.
Thank you.
Being exchanged. So I'm gonna look for his channel.
So just back on what I was saying, and this is just my explanation. And hey, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? And so then you have women who are making less money. You have subsidies. Now enter no-fault divorce, meaning that a woman can get divorced at any time. And you don't have to have a reason to have a divorce. So before, to get a divorce, woman, you would have to prove that something was wrong. He cheated on me. He punched me. Or she cheated on me. Or she hit me. I mean, not that, we just got to be honest. And, there was just things that you could say. With now, you don't have to say any of that. You could just go and say, I'm not in love anymore, and you can get a divorce, right? And so with that being said, now the government says, okay, so you have no-fault divorce, and now you have subsidies to take the man's place and to replace one of the incomes. And for men, if they are divorced, they can get subsidies too. I actually know a couple of guys who get subsidy who the woman left, right? Well, only thing I'm saying is that whenever you break down the nuclear family, it makes these things easier. And that actually erodes all the way down to dating.
Real quick. So I have a family friend. She's a lesbian, and she has to pay alimony. It sucks.
What?
So, yes, it's real. Anyway, just had to throw that in there.
Oh, boy. It's a relationship between a female and a male?
No, female and a female.
See, we're in California, so that can happen. So in California, if you're common law marriage for 10 years or married for 10 years, regardless of the gender, there will be alimony if one makes more money.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that definitely. I mean, I'm in the South.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So that's just my opinion of what happened with that and why.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, and in case I'm not coming in okay, let me know because there's heavy rain and thunder happening where I am. So
your signal has been absolutely horrible, but we're rocking with you.
Well, we've been struggle streaming, so
we struggle so much with our stream. We feel like we can't talk. Can we welcome, please?
Wait, hold on. So this is
my apologies.
Mr. O is Just Living's channel. So
Mr. O is Just Living. The player perspective shop.
Include it in the chat or whatever.
Yeah. So please.
Let me try to jump out and jump back in and see if it's any better.
Okay, and while you're gone,
before that, let me pop that open, and I'm gonna bring him on. So give me a second here.
Caduceus.
All right, we're gonna bring Caduceus on,
and we're using the Caduceus method of bringing him on.
The first guy to give us his tip, a very valuable tip.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
How you doing?
All right, I'm feeling good. Yeah, safe to drop
Excellent.
the shield now.
Yeah. Yes.
We're gonna have the shield of Caduceus.
It's me.
That's what I'm gonna do for the overlay.
Yeah, we got you, Woody. So Caduceus, welcome to the stream, sir. I know I was really long-winded in some of my explanations.
Grover, when are you not long-winded?
When you're a woman's advocate.
When he gets the tip. No,
I don't get the tip. You need to. Hey, I give the tip. I don't get the tip, homie. Don't get it twisted, all right? Don't let the San Francisco address fool you. Don't let the skyline fool you. Shit, I stand on my square with that one, son. But do you have any thoughts on this Kim and Kanye stuff?
I think the interesting part of it is that like you say on my show, you mentioned that guy with the Confederate belt and at the grocery store working in the back loading up the store.
Yeah.
You knew what that guy was before you met him and talked to him and heard his insights. Kanye knew what he was getting when he got Kim. He knew that she got famous off of a tape, that her family was big in the OJ case, that when he started sleeping with her, messing around, she was engaged or married with another man. So he kind of knew this behavior before going in, and that it was susceptible to happen to him. And now that it's happening to him, and people are making fun of him for it, it's probably a huge hit, because he probably knew this from the very beginning.
Yes, yeah, she was who she was when he met her.
Exactly.
Interesting. So do you think he's a good father, or is he trying to leverage the situation with her to get back into the BBLs?
I honestly don't know nor care. I mean, if he's a good father, that'd be the best. It's still a tough situation for the kid. I mean, a lot of the kids are going to learn from example anyway, and if he's back in the behavior of picking up like street crawlers and little corn stars, you know what I mean? If he's back into that, if he's back into that energy, like, the kids will pick up on that, and they'll sadly repeat the behavior. So like, kind of whatever his actions are determine whether he's a good father or not, because they learn by the example instead of what he says to them.
That's true. That's true, because if you have if your parents say one thing, like if you're if your parents are saying don't ever drink, you can never drink, but every Friday night they're getting hammered, you're gonna wind up knowing that it's okay to drink. It is the way it is. Correct. Yeah.
There's a lot of times where they'll tell you what they're doing, and then the kids are like, they can pick up when they're getting bullshitted after a while, because it's hard to maintain a lie for decades, like, as you're taking care of someone. So they're going to find out the truth eventually about who you are, and they're kind of like the sphere of their life is so small that the influence of the parents is massive.
Yes, you're right. And I want to read this from Mr. O. I empathize with Kanye's pain. At the same time, I was always taught you lose her the same way you got her. I was taught that too. The consequences of no game, he was never laced. So I'm going to assume that Mr. O's from the Bay Area. If he said game laced, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize. But we're not talking about game when you say that about how you talk to someone. We're talking about game about how life is. Okay. And that was one of the things. So, because I think a lot of times when we say, nah, man, that's the game, dude. We're talking about life and the realities of life. And that's what we used to call the realities of life back in the way. All of this game, like picking up on women and stuff, that it wasn't really, we say, oh, you got game, but really, if you weren't laced with the game, that means that somebody didn't tell you, hey, if you catch her, if you find her at a bus stop, when you drop her off at a bus stop. Don't drop her off at, don't drop her. Don't even drop her off at a Greyhound. Drop her off you from the Bay. Drop her off at a Muni. That's just what like you
take her to Bart and leave her.
Take her to Richmond Bart and tell her, be careful.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you actually
take her to
explained
El
that.
Cerrito del Norte and leave her there or something.
Damn.
I'm glad you explained about the game terminology, especially pertaining to the Bay, because it is about like life and understanding how the world works. So there is a double meaning to game, especially with Bay Area slang.
Mr. O, H-Town Rays. Okay. Hey, I'm Mr. O, my family is from New Waverly, and I know you know where that's at, right outside of Huntsville. I'm not doxing myself because it's a big place.
Okay.
Yeah, but we just always like to point that out because a lot of times if you say, "Oh, he spit that game" or "talk that game," you all right, Woody?
He choked on it.
You all right, sir?
Joking on it.
Too much game. Too much old school game.
He's practicing his Kim K.
Oh, okay. Well, look.
Don't put that evil on me.
We don't like to hear chokes. We like to hear gags. Anyway, but
just the tip, right?
Yeah,
it's just the tip.
Well, that's the lie we tell. So anyway, anything else you want to talk about? You're kind of an honored guest here. You would tell the truth, and the other folks that come up. I always appreciate having you guys. So anything else you want to talk about?
More just coming on for support. I like that. I like the format you got going, cycling guests in and out, getting more individual insights.
When we have our smoke show, what are we going to call it? Friday late night smoke.
Yeah, we'll call it something.
So something serious. We'll think of something like that. We'll have people come up and y'all can just let it hang out.
You guys are like ruthless. Jeez.
Yeah, man, y'all like
what if it's
easy in 87.
Well, what if it's like a fight night? Would you guys call it dumpster fire?
Dumpster fire. That is my favorite word for Twitter. I used to say Twitter is a dumpster fire.
You should call it like Market Street, like a zombie horde.
Market Street. No, we call it the tender. We call it Jones and Market, the tenderloin.
Jones and Market tender. Oh yeah. That's what I was thinking. I like going there. It's like, damn. It's like it's like Day of the Dead or Night of the Living Dead out there.
Right on. Okay. Well, Woody Johnson, anything you want to say before we rotate the panel?
I just think they're definitely bad parents, and I think they're not even raising their kids. It's probably nannies, from down south that's probably doing the job. And I guess just a point on the gynocentrism that we have now is, I think it's unnecessary competition that guys see each other as, and making these laws and policies is what shapes and also changes the culture. So this having a soft spot for females is and looking at other men as a complete competition, and that we gotta eliminate competition. I'm not saying competition and I'm not talking in competition is healthy competition. I'm talking in a way of thinking of the old caveman days where women were looked at as resources. I think that's also a driven factor of having that soft spot and letting injustice happen, such as we have today. That could be in courts, that could be in affirmative actions, that could be in how would you say it? What else does it affect? Everything that affects collectively and it's against towards men.
Culture number one.
Yeah.
It seeps into the culture and it starts to change things, and then all of a sudden you get cancel culture. It gets ridiculous. And I'm very open-minded. I have very liberal-leaning ways, but I'm also have some conservative values, and I don't know. It gets too much where it's like, all right, to a good amount of people, I'm conservative, but then when I'm speaking to another group of people, then wait, hold on, let me twist that around. To some people, I'm liberal, but then when I talk to other people, then I'm way too conservative. Now I start turning into right wing. I'm like, wait a second. I am nothing like that. And now you're just putting words in my mouth and saying and putting me in these big. It's not even. It's like an insanity circular reasoning, and you can never get out of that logic loop. It's crazy.
The only thing I'll say, the biggest distinguish that I've seen is that in California universities such as Berkeley and then you have places like Florida and Texas A&M and Florida State, that people who come with liberal leaning ideas, they could have different personalities or different hair colors, just a different, totally coming from a different culture. They wouldn't be attacked if they wore the opposite in opposites, representing the opposite in politics. Meanwhile, if they're in California, if they're going around wearing the red orange man hat, they would definitely be attacked or have their property stolen. That's also a big difference that I see, because conservatives are very lenient, very relaxed. Hey, you can have your open opinion, but not on the other side. So that's a big
I have
issue.
to preface this by saying true conservatives are that way, because I've always been a true conservative, meaning that I don't really care what you do, and I think it's your right to say it as long as it doesn't, just like, don't try to put it on me, right? But I do know some conservatives that are super like, you have to do it this way. And I know some liberals that you have to do it this way. Basically, anytime that you're stuck in this two-party system where you're one way or another, it takes away all of your mind flexibility to even grow and change. Because I can tell you that when I was younger, I was super liberal about a bunch of stuff just because I was, maybe young and dumb. Maybe I thought everything should be a certain way and I had stars in my eyes. And as I got older, and I got a little more conservative, but it was a little more seasoning in it. And then people started saying that I'm super conservative. The best compliment I ever got was people say, I can't figure out what you are. That's the best compliment I got, because you can't. Because I'm going to be me, and I'm not going to let somebody in a White House or somebody in Congress tell me what to think.
Yeah, about that topic that you have there, sounds like we have an idea to spitball to maybe get some people to come together. We just got to parade Scott around and have him just speak through a megaphone, and they'll all unite against him. They're all like, "Screw you, Scott."
Yeah. We'll literally.
I'm waiting for it.
We'll literally solve the problem, and then the Asians will say he's not Asian enough, and the white people will say he's not white enough. And then it'll be like that's his whole life.
Story of my life. That's the story of my life.
Dude, Scott is going to save this country.
Yeah. Wrong person to save.
So Woody Johnson, I want to ask, do you have a channel or anything to plug? Or
No, I don't have anything. I just contribute sometimes, jump on here and there, so I'm nothing really to I guess talk about, maybe in the future, but nothing now.
Well, Woody, thank you for your contribution. The TIP Network rocks with you.
No problem. Thank you for having me on.
Same or different, you're always welcome, and we look forward to having you on again. And thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
have a good
night, guys.
Good night.
Thank you.
And so we can bring up Mr. O is just
the Caduceus shield here.
Yeah, hold on. We got to put up the Caduceus shield, the Caduceus method.
Don't want any meat popping up.
Yeah, and we're gonna add Mr. O. Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well.
Yes. So, hey, thank you. Welcome to the TIP Network. I can tell you I can tell you from Houston because I can hear your accent already. You sound like my first cousin.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. I really do, man. I noticed the channel like a few months ago, and I like you guys, what you were talking about. I like the odd couple dynamic, and I love the perspective.
Well, actually, Scott's my cousin. No, I'm playing. Before we get to you, sir, but I just want to give Caduceus some chances if he has any words or anything else he wants to talk about. And definitely, everybody, please subscribe to the Vital Message if you're in a chat. If you're not subscribed, excellent content creator, excellently based in logic. So, Caduceus, anything you want to say before we rotate?
No, I'm just appreciative that I'm able to come on. We had a great discussion a couple days ago, and we had and the smoke came after you left. You were like I guess people were afraid to be mean around you because you were too nice, which is good.
Too nice.
Look, I strive to be polite because I was raised that way. But I mean, I'll go on the smoke. I'll go on the smoke.
Oh yeah. Hey, we like it though. But you'll come in. Like bullets will be going right by you, and then you're just gonna be walking calm and composed. And then you'd be like, hey, what's going on, fellas?
Like, everyone's so nice here. Everyone's so nice. But thank you so much, Caduceus. We're gonna close it out with Mr. O is living. I think that's a last person on the panel.
I got a show tomorrow with Alex Playing with Fire, so there's gonna be some smoke.
What time is it?
9 p.m. Eastern.
Right here.
9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So 6 p.m. Okay. And what's tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Damn, it's been a long week. So, all right. So I will definitely be checking that out.
All right. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Good night. All right. And Mr. O is just living. First, this is your first time here. Can you tell us about your channel and what you're doing? And then, how cool is that? How cool is your set, man? You got that neon at the top. It's like you swinging on them things, man. You just.
Well, I want to apologize for my dress. Normally, I'm dressed. We did a early 2000s R&B theme tonight on our show called Player's Perspective that I host with my brother from another mother, but his name is Big Hef. He's
Right
big
on.
on TikTok, but we do it. We give an interesting perspective on things. Topics like these interesting, just as interesting. But just we're not a fan of all the arguing, the back and forth of men and women arguing to the teeth. I'd like to give a different perspective to hopefully that men and women can finally hear each other instead of screaming. I've always noticed that when a woman feels threatened, she don't hear nothing that the man's saying. So if we can deliver the message a little better to make it more palatable, maybe we can have the conversation and get better outcomes.
Man,
and that's what
absolutely.
That's what we try to promote over there.
You know what? I'm definitely got to check you out. Let us read some of these messages real quick. Then we'll get to asking you the question. The final message says, "Thanks." It's Tip Network and Selfmade. You can find them here. Okay, so that was there, and then let's go. Right under Mr. O.
Says politics.
Scott,
damn right.
It's politics.
Trying to get us all to mainstream here.
Let's go to Profo. Let's Profo Styles. He got one above that.
Which one?
Two above that. Profo Floor Gangs. And then he said, these batches only want the Fetty, but we play no captain here. You dig for cheese? That's that bass slang right there. That's the bass slang. I remember I went back home. So I call Texas home because that's all my family there. Matter of fact, I'll be visiting next month, staying at my cousin's house and get some sweet tea and some berry cobbler. Right. But I went back home and I was talking like that. My cousin said, "Man, if you don't talk some English around me, we gonna get." All right, so
it's the best. I love it.
Oh man, well, it's funny because I love home because all my family's here. Team Libertarian in the house. That's Primal Studies. And what does an open convo say? An open convo says, "I think that most people can't get past the past, but he's doing what is right for his jit.
Stuff. Yeah.
He's fighting for her innocence." Okay, talking about his kid. Yes. Is there anything else here? Scott, mocking other Asians. We don't know what that means.
You got some terminologies that
self-made. If you could drop what that means to us.
So I need to laugh.
Yeah, because we know it's funny if it's from self-made. Our chat is super versatile. We got like every type of philosophy, and everyone's welcome to have it. Like the lady came on and we read her comments and we addressed it with respect. Final message: Mr. O is living without furniture.
That's just the stripper pole right here. So it's a swing the legs and hit a couch, so I gotta.
Oh, okay, Mr. Oh, sweet set though, Mr. O.
Right, that's why I know furniture where the pole is. But I got a 4-story townhouse here full of furniture.
Were you over there by the Galleria? You got a 4-story townhouse. You over there by the Galleria?
Right here
in Midtown?
Yes, so A-blogging is
alpha male of group. All right.
No, alpha male.
Alpha male. All right. So my brother, what do you think about this Kim and Kanye situation? My question is he being a great father, or is he just trying to simp his way back into the BBLs?
Well, so it's like a two-part conversation I feel going on. I feel like Kanye is experiencing something later in life that most males experience early on with the dysfunction. I feel that like our wisdom at a certain point in our life is able to give us a certain level of discernment that we can weed out a good situation for us for a better outcome versus what he was trying to do. That being said, it was a good business move to get with Kim because their networks increased. He needed some money at the time when he got with her. They definitely grew in that aspect. However, what he's going through right now, I empathize with it. At the same particular time, if he'd have had his discernment, his gift, his wisdom, he'd have been able to notice the signs and patterns that reveal the hostile situation that he would have been in right now based on her track record. So he just wasn't able to sift that out. And I can feel his pain because a lot of males go through this and it's real. Right. You got to live through it in order to get past it. And he don't have enough people in his life to even let him know that, hey, what you're going through is normal, but this is how you handle it. People want to see the show. And I don't think it's funny at all. However, it is. He does have to take some accountability for it. What I wanted to speak on is the part that we haven't given, I guess, a different perspective on is the social media side with the kids. I watched the recent Netflix video that came out sometime last year about social networking. And you have people on this video who created the live button for Facebook, who created Reddit, who created all these social sites and some of the impact, the like button. And they noticed that they had opened a Pandora's box that could never be reopened. And as a result of that, some of them don't even give their kids cell phones, smartphones.
Absolutely.
And they limit the access on it.
You know, you're speaking Scott's language right here, right?
Now, also in China right now, they're limiting video game playtime, and they're in cohorts with the console creators to not only allow these video games to play within a certain amount of time and extend that with just another hour on special occasions. And so it's something to that to be taken from that with people who have the insight of the damage that's really going to be done in the future. I don't think people know what they're doing right now when they putting these smartphones in these children's hands, and they're going to see later what they did. It just hasn't got old enough yet to even see the results of it. So I think it's a lot of damage there. They're not on TikTok because her name's Northwest. She's on TikTok and doing numbers because her dad's Kanye West. That's why she's doing numbers. Nobody cares if she wasn't Kanye's daughter or Kim's daughter.
Very interesting. So do you think that if Kanye had some really positive male role models in his life that he would have been able to navigate this a little better? I mean, I've been through the heartbreak before, and I got to tell you that I had people kind of like tell me, like, from the harshness of the message to like my uncle, nobody gives a damn, you know, to my dad saying, listen, son, this is what it is. You got to go through it before you go through it, you know, and you got to go all the way through it. And on the other end, you're going to be a better man, but don't compromise yourself. You did the right thing, right?
Right.
And so do you think he would have been better off if he had a man in his life? Because I know I see this, the narrative that I get from a lot of single mothers is that I can do it and I don't need no man.
I'm going to say this for a fact. My father paid child support because I guess therapeutically, in his childhood, he was doing better than his father would, and that was his focus. Now, I say that we all need therapy. Would it have helped Kanye? Yes. But with what he already got going on, and also equate that with a single mother that raised him, I know for myself, my father only paying child support by not being there physically, I was behind. I felt behind. I know when I was 18, I joined the Air Force. I felt so far behind from where the rest of the guys were that I had to learn certain things that, quite frankly, our daddy should have taught us. You know, so whether it be his father or just good men in his life, that could have prepared him. But discernment is a gift, and it's a learned behavior as well that you have to gradually perfect over time. So I can't say how that would have panned out with him dealing with the bipolar issue that he also has. We need to be empathetic towards that as well. I want to say that he's living his emotions in real time, and he just happened to have a camera in his face 24/7. And so it's unfortunate. Some of the things that he's saying out loud on TV, I know I say it in a dark room. You know, when
that's
I was going through it.
Very, you know, that's facts, and that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Right. One thing that I gotta say, because that's very interesting what you said there, is that I think that celebrities actually went through the exact same thing, but since everyone didn't have a camera in their pocket and it wasn't social media, that we probably didn't see it like this. And so we didn't see the hurt and the pain. I mean, we opened up with him talking, and I could see the pain in the man's eyes. I know when a man's going through something, I could see it. And, I can see the pain in his eyes. And then, Skeet Davidson over here saying like, hey, I'm in your lady's bed. And I'm like, dude, like somebody tells me they're in my wife's bed because, I'm not single. Man, I'm telling you, it's some bruh, especially if you were my friend, you was going to have to see me in a way you don't want to see me. And I'm not going to be friendly about it, Right. And so just putting that out there. And this is just like what you should, like I was raised, that's what you should do anyway, especially if somebody was my friend. They shouldn't have did that at all because they dirty mac their way in there. And so but I do think that what you said about social media being available is really bad for just people's mental state right now. And also when you touched upon, and which I think is great, the social dilemma, because I actually got introduced to that movie from Scott. Scott's like, you got to watch this. And he bothered me about it for it was at least a month and a half. I'll get to it. Then I watched it. Then I called, dude, this is amazing. He's like, bruh, I've been telling you to watch this for.
I've been telling you about Roberto Blake for the longest time.
Yeah. So
if you see the guy who invented the live button, he wished he could undo it.
Wow.
He wishes he could undo it. He can't.
Yeah. And I do know folks, because we're in Silicon Valley. A matter of fact, I am less than 15 minutes away from Facebook. I have 5 friends who work at Facebook. All of them don't let their children go on Facebook. All of them don't let their young kids go on Facebook. A matter of fact, one of them, their kid's 13, and they just got Facebook Lite, which is less the engagement. It's kind of like not everything, and he's monitoring that. So man, so you just finished your stream. I got to check you out, man. I got to tell you,
we tried to do some lighthearted things these last couple of weeks. So we were doing some R&B battles of the 90s. We did 2 parts on that, and then we did 2000s today. Just trying to have some fun in the YouTube street, since there's a lot of animosity going on, a lot of unclear things going on. We try to change the speed, but we definitely have a lot of live streams that go for a lengthy amount of time, talking about these issues and giving a different perspective on them. Because to argue with a woman about something, the point of communication is get her to hear you, and when she fear you, she can't hear you. So there's no way that you're going to communicate if you're on that level. So there's always 2 sides to see things, and then there's always another perspective that's omnipresent. And as long as we communicating and moving the needle forward with our communication, man, we can get things accomplished. But right now, if we don't like each other, how can we be together, and how can we grow from that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do say that, I think there's something to be said about understanding each other's differences. And if you choose to be with someone, get with the right person. I'm going to tell you, getting with the right person is absolutely important. I am blessed in my position with someone, and we have great communication. And I think that's what you were saying there, is that being able to communicate with people is absolutely the most important thing.
These are some of the networkers that I've been networking with throughout my time here at YouTube. But I did want to say about the Dirty Mac, and we did a show on Dirty Mac, and then man, but I feel like he's got a batter in his back put in by Kim. She's only fueled even more to do what she's doing because of what Kanye is doing, because he just doesn't understand how the woman's mind works. He's thinking what he's doing is as if these acts you're doing are going to make her say, you know what, I need to take you back. That's not going to happen. When you act like it don't bother you, you might have a chance. But I always tell guys, don't react to the things that women do to make you feel the pain that they feel. Stay in the heavens. Do not come down and address things that aren't worth your time and attention, because if you want her to follow you, you need her to see you. And she needs to see you up here if you want that leadership. If not, if she see you on her level, she's going to talk to you and treat you like you down here with her, which is no respect. And once the respect is gone, you have nothing. You can never get that back. So
all right. Well, look, man. I'm sorry. Please finish your thought.
But when a woman starts respecting you, man, it's over with. And that's what I think that he's sacrificing right now, his respect. But he just doesn't know. He's not gonna see it until it's over.
Absolutely. You know what? One thing I will tell you 100% is that he is losing respect for himself with this situation. Thank you very much, Mr. O. Please sub to his channel. I'm gonna check you out. But the way this man spoke, he got a little player in him, so I appreciate that. Sitting here sipping something. The studio looks good.
It's just
Check
some
you
water.
out. We'll please check. Okay, well, I was not sipping water, so please check out Mr. O. And thank you very much. Everybody who came up today, Mr. O, we're going to drop you down and we're going to finish out the stream, okay?
I appreciate y'all having me.
Yes,
all right,
excellent.
Thank you for coming on. And I
come
appreciate your
up
thoughts.
anytime. I appreciate different perspectives. You're from the hometown. I might hit you up. I'm going to be in Houston. I'll be staying in spring though, but I'm going to be in Houston in the next month or so. Oh yeah, I know.
I'll put my email in the chat.
All right, right on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right on.
All right.
All right. Have a good night now.
All right. Have a good night. So, yeah. So I wanna just take time to thank everybody for rocking with us. Rocking with us with Struggle Streaming. We will get better each time. We will have a better presentation. We will have better content. If you like content like this, let us know. Drop it there. We are also 100% dedicated to bringing up this community and letting you talk like we spoke today, right? Especially since we have the caduceus method of putting up the shield. We will let you talk like you talk today. I want to have good, open dialects about things. We'll answer your questions. If you have a question of me, if you have a question of Scott, if you have a question for the panel, we'll answer your questions. Also, be on the lookout. We have some great things coming. We are working on a content roadmap, meaning that we're going to be very consistent. Once a week, we're going to do a stream focusing on business, content creation, and how the things of the world work towards that. And then we're going to focus on a pop topic, but still pivoted towards self-improvement. I mean, I think we got a lot of quality here. What do we hear about Kanye? Vetting people, vetting the family, understanding what you're going. And like caduceus said, how I paraphrase, she was what she was when you met her. So what are you doing, right? And so thank you for rocking with the TIP Network, and understand that the TIP Network rocks with you and rocks with everyone in the chat. We're just going to read a couple to finish us out here. We got Woody Johnson has a great, I'm going to say, as the great Patrice O'Neal said, don't show her emotions and don't give up F. Don't lose your freedom or manhood for a thought. I don't think he said thought. I think he said hope. But anyway, that's one of the things, or he said to be. We are, please, Woody Johnson, check out we have 2 videos featuring Patrice O'Neal. We are huge Patrice O'Neal fans. As a matter of fact, I think Patrice O'Neal is somebody who, if you just listen to his comedy and really get through the laughter, you will see so much truth in it. So much truth. Absolutely. Yes, he said BRH. Yes, sir. Struggle Streaming and Dirty Mackin. Yes, sir. The EBH Black Show, Bay Area. Yes, sir. Tell us, is it the EBH Black Show? Is that your channel? Let us know. We'll drop it in the chat. We have Woody Johnson, Bay Area. Self-Made said, I thought only Russians wore velour. Still, laugh out loud. Mr. O did a good job. Self-Made, the G behind the scenes. If only you guys knew the connections and how generous Self-Made is when it's time for folks. I totally respect. What we did with Patrice O'Neal is we used a lot of his clips and understanding from our stream, the Friend Zone 1, and I believe he was in the Friend Zone 2 also. Correct?
Yes.
So Friend Zone Part 1 and
trying to bring it up
2.
Give me a second here.
Yeah. Damn, my hat was lit. I got to wear that hat again. Here we go. Read the chat. All right, so Patrice was a philosophy and ahead of his time. We did not deserve him. Absolutely. Patrice died too soon, and people didn't know how good he was. He didn't know how people didn't know how good of a comedian he was. I believe Patrice O'Neal is probably the second greatest comedian of our time behind Dave Chappelle. Then I think Bill Burr is third. And there we go. Caduceus, the vital method. Keep it hyphy in the bay. And so, any last thoughts of this, Scott? Before we close
the last thought, because I see with the whole Patrice O'Neal where he's saying don't show her emotions and don't give an F. I think the first level up any young guy should know to be aware of is to control their emotions around their significant other, whether it's their girlfriend or a girl that's a friend or any type of female, is because the moment that happens, she starts to lose respect for you. Then you start acting get into your feminine energy, and you stray away from your masculinity. So that's the big thing, is that the young guys, you got to learn not to be affected by the girls, and do not be putting them on a pedestal. Respect them, but do not put them on a pedestal, because that is how you'll get used. And especially when we start talking about passport
pimping or simping,
you see how women will manipulate and take you for all you got.
Hey man, yes, absolutely.
So we're not saying the woman's advocate here. Not saying all of women, but we're just saying that there is a subset of people that will take advantage of you, whether man or woman.
Yeah. And so there we go. Barry, he lost interest when the hat vanished. Yeah, Barry, you're a troll, and I appreciate it. Self-made. So just got to get a shout out to H-Town because Mr. O was here. That's what's his name? I want to say Ali Shaheed, but I know I got his name wrong. But Mexican with Boots is an excellent. Just put in Mexican with Boots, and you'll bring it up. And I don't believe I can't say his name. I must be tired. Yeah, Ali Sadiq. He's a comedian out of Houston. He's one of the funniest comedians. Definitely top 10 right now. By the way, I give Earthquake number 4. And the vital message, last chat before we close it out. Last part of the chat. Vital message says, and drop the streetwalkers off at El Cerrito del Norte, Bart. No me nigas.
How do you know this?
No me nigas, because he's from the Bay. Because I'm telling him, don't tell me in Spanish. I know. All right. So hey, as always out there, we want you to like and subscribe. If you've been watching the stream, we give you free content. We do it twice a week on a live stream now. We still have highly produced videos by this man right here leading the way.
There. You
can sub. Please
actually, it's in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, if you
sub, on desktop.
is it? Oh, right there, sub right there.
Well, that's not the button. It's actually in the bottom right. But anyway,
there, sub right there. Okay, but anyway, thank you so much for rocking with us. Watch it again. If people are watching it, let us know if you like content like this. Leave it in the chat. But as always, ask yourself
hold on, and follow us on all the social medias at the TIP Network combined into one word. And you'll find us on Twitch, Facebook, we're called Meta now, Twitter, all our social channels.
Right.
And
let's see. You can follow me on the gram at I am Gorilla1. You can follow this guy at ScottT. And now I can ask a question, right?
Yes, you can ask.
You can ask yourself one burning, itching, irritating question.
Get yourself checked for STDs, all right?
And can you handle the tip?
We're going all in.
Booty in your face. We out. Thank you for rocking with us. Struggle Stream number 4.
Oh, yeah, we'll get it right one of these days.
One day.